in a light rain with a temperature at 35 degrees. We're at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of the New England Patriots, who've won 7 in a row and led by Tom Brady, playing as well as ever. And ready to take on Aldon Smith, who's closing in on the all-time sack record, and the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya, welcome to Foxborough, of course, with heavy hearts and with our thoughts and prayers with the victims and their families. President Obama will address a vigil in Newtown, Connecticut. We're told within a half hour. When he does, NBC News will carry it live, and you'll see it here. If you want to stay with the game at that point, you can see it either on CNBC or the NBC Sports Network. There is a game tonight. It's a good one. It's San Francisco against New England. And Chris, when you look at this matchup, first things that come to mind.
Oh, first of all, it's tough to think about anything else this weekend. It really is. But as far as the football game, you've got Tom Brady, the #1 scoring offense in the NFL, going up against Aldon Smith and Patrick Willis, the #1 scoring defense. Matchup-wise, it really doesn't get any better than this.
And the San Francisco 49ers, of course, made a very big switch a month ago. You'll see him in action tonight. Their starting quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, on Sunday Night Football. It's too warm for it to snow, but it's close. 35 degrees, 3 degrees above freezing. Wintry mix. Well, to honor the memory of those slain in Connecticut Friday, the NFL has paid tribute at every site today. So let's join the PA announcer here, John Rook.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, the nation experienced a horrific tragedy when a shooting at an elementary school in Newtown, Connecticut, resulted in the deaths of 26 innocent people, including 20 children. At this time, please stand and join in a moment of silent reflection as we light a flare for each of the victims. Thank you. Fans, please remain standing as we now honor America. Presenting the colors, veterans from the Boston Police Honor Guard. And performing our national anthem, please welcome George Komsky.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Kickoff moments away right now. Let's check in with Michelle.
Well, Al, Well, as the San Francisco defense prepared to face Tom Brady this week, they had a useful resource in safety Dante Whitner, who spent his first 5 NFL seasons with the Buffalo Bills and faced Brady 10 times. But when I asked Whitner, were you the advice guy this week for the defense? He said, yeah, but so was Randy Moss, who played 3 seasons with Tom Brady. On the team flight from San Francisco to Boston on Friday night, Whitner and other members of the defense sat with Moss and watched tape of 2 Patriots games. Whitner told me Moss was able to point out things like where Brady likes to go with the football in certain situations. And they spent a good amount of time looking at the Patriots' empty formations. Whitner told me, we picked up some tips. Hopefully it helps us out. And Al, Moss wants to be helpful to the offense as well. He is starting at wide receiver tonight in place of the injured Mario Manningham.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And his San Francisco 49ers are atop the division, but Seattle winning again today, 9-5. So the 49ers would have only a half-game lead if they lose tonight, and those 2 teams meet on Sunday Night Football in Seattle next week. Meanwhile, in the AFC, Houston holds the number 1 seed at the moment, winning today over Indianapolis. And then there's Denver and New England. They would each be 11-3, and New England would have beaten Denver head-to-head, so they would own the tiebreak and would wind up as the number 2 seed if the season ended today, which, of course, you know it doesn't. San Francisco has won the toss. They deferred, so we're going to see Brady right off the bat. Devin McCourty is back to return the kick for New England. Division leaders, good battle. 49ers coming across the country, and off we go on Sunday Night Football. McCourty from the 2-yard line. And good special teams coverage by the 49ers as Tom Brady comes out to lead the Patriot offense against this San Francisco defense.
Ray McDonald, the University of Florida.
Isako Sopoama, Hawaii.
Justin Smith, Missouri.
Ahmad Brooks, UVA.
Navarro Bowman, Penn State.
Patrick Willis, Ole Miss.
Alden Smith,
the University of Missouri.
Carlos Rogers, Auburn University.
Dante Whitner, the Ohio State.
Deshaun Golson, Washington.
Terrell Brown, DBU, University of Texas.
Number 2 defense overall and allowed the fewest points in the league, the 49ers at this point, as Brady begins with a quick flip out to the left side. And the catch is made by Brandon Lloyd. Over the last 7 games, 19 touchdowns, 1 interception a couple of weeks ago in Miami. And they go no huddle here. Quicken the pace right off the bat, as they do. And Stephen Ridley loses the ball. And the 49ers are there, but now the ball's still loose at the 17. Signal that they have it. They'll umpile, and we'll see who, with Ed Hockley, the referee, right there, so signaling that San Francisco has recovered. So in these conditions, on the second play of the game, Ridley puts it on the ground, and Navarro Bowman recovers. Was he down is the question.
Yes.
He was.
Yes,
so you have, well, you don't even have to challenge it. Everything gets reviewed in terms of a turnover. So it's being reviewed upstairs, and Belichick does not have to challenge. He's going to wind up, I think, retaining the ball anyway. And the crowd now sees it. You hear their reaction.
The elements a factor already out here, Al. It has been raining steadily. It's cold. It's a difficult night to handle the football. And, of course, Stephen Ridley has had a few issues in the past, last season, hanging on to the ball. He's going to do the spin move, hit there, and now backside on the ground, ball comes out. But it gives you some idea of how slippery this ball is, and this is as fresh as the footballs are going to be.
He's fumbled 3 times this year. This would have been number 4, but for the moment, the Patriot defense is back on the sideline. They figure to win this review, and that would make it a 3rd down and 1 if the ball comes back to where the tackle was made. The Patriots, the number 1 offense in the league, leading the league in yards, leading the league in points, 36.3 a game, and the 49ers allowing only 14 points per game. It's the 7th time since 1970, when the AFL and NFL merged, you've had this matchup in week 12 or later. And in the 6 prior meetings, the number 1 offense has beaten the number 1 defense 4 of 6.
And the thing you have to do against this Patriots team and Tom Brady is really survive the first quarter. You know, Houston couldn't do it last week, but 1,168 yards for Brady passing in the first quarter. There's nobody even close to that number.
So Brady staying warm. Here comes Hockley to give the ball back to New England.
The runner was down before the ball came loose. It is New England. It will be 3rd and 1 on the 25-yard line. Please reset the clock to 14:32. 14:32 on the clock. Thank you. 14:32.
Brady in the offense. Back out now. The Patriots on 3rd or 4th and 1. Best in the league. Brady sneaks for a first down a lot of the time. So you keep that in mind here on 3rd and 1.
Hard to imagine, but Tom Brady's one of the best 3rd down backs there is in the National Football League. He just has a knack for it. I'm sure you'll see San Francisco piled up over the center, Ryan Wendell.
And Hockley winds the clock, and here we go on 3rd down and 1. And he hands the ball off to Ridley, who gets tackled in the backfield by Navarro Bowman. Willis and Bowman are tremendous in the middle. Meanwhile, NBC News will now take you to the president speaking in Newtown, Connecticut. And on CNBC and the NBC Sports Network, we continue our coverage as there's a 3 and out for New England, and Zoltan Mesko sends it into the mist. Ted Ginn Jr. from the 29-yard line brings the ball back out to the 38-yard line. And let's take a look at the San Francisco offense.
Colin Kaepernick, Nevada.
Frank Gore, the U.
Bruce Miller, Central Florida. Michael Crabtree, Texas Tech.
Randy Moss, Rand University.
Vernon Davis, University of Maryland.
Joe Staley, Central Michigan University.
Mike Upati, Idaho. Jonathan Goodwin, University of Michigan.
Alex Boone, The Ohio State University.
Anthony Davis, Rutgers.
Colin Kaepernick, second year out of Nevada, begins with play action on 1st down and throws, and that's caught by Michael Crabtree. Having an outstanding season, very close to a first down, and it is. He gets 10.
Well, this is going to be one of the great matchups tonight on the outside. You've got Crabtree going against Aqib Talib, the new acquisition for this Patriots defense. And no fear whatsoever on the part of the 49ers. Come right out throwing the football with Colin Kaepernick.
Crabtree, their leading receiver. They'll bring the rookie A.J. Jenkins into the game. He was their #1 draft choice. And we might see a lot of him tonight as Kaepernick takes the snap and hits Crabtree. And Crabtree takes the ball to the New England 39-yard line. So a hot start. Vernon Davis throws a nice block. First down, San Francisco, gain of 13.
One of the things that's so exciting about Crabtree is after he makes the catch. One of the great runners with the football afterwards. That time they motion Vernon Davis out. Really don't even block Steve Gregory, and he eludes him. Pick up the first down.
68 catches this season for Crabtree. Now Kaepernick lined up in what they call the pistol. The short shotgun formation, taking the snap, faking the handoff, buying time, zings it over the middle, and that is caught by Randy Moss for a first down. Popped by Talib. Moss and Bill Belichick this week, a mutual admiration society in the press. Randy talking about his years here.
And this is going to impress more than anything else. Randy Moss, if he's known for anything, it's the deep ball, not necessarily going over the middle and taking shots like that. He's back here in New England where he had one of the greatest years we've ever seen a wide receiver have. 23 touchdown catches in 2007.
Mayo coming in for the second smack. 3 plays, 3 first downs. From the 27, a little toss to Gore. Tries to get around the corner and is taken out of bounds after a gain of about 4. Let's take a look at the New England defense.
Rob Ninkovich, Purdue University.
Vince Wilfork, University of Miami.
Kyle Love, Mississippi State.
Chandler Jones, Syracuse University.
Gerard Mayo, Tennessee.
Brandon Spikes, Florida.
Dante Hightower, the University of Alabama.
Aqib Talib, North Dallas, Texas.
Steve Gregory, Syracuse University.
Devin McCourty, Rutgers. Fonzo Dillon, University of Nebraska.
Defense has been improving. Kaepernick back and slings it out to the rookie, LaMichael James, who made his debut last week. The ball is loose. Hightower comes up with the football. Hockley is right there, but he says incomplete.
Very interesting. Hightower sort of stripped that ball on the way down, and did that ball actually hit the ground? It's all of a sudden you saw Hightower spin out of there, and he kind of had the ball in his hand. Yeah, there it is. One bounce.
Yep.
Very good call. Well, this thing has energy right from the start, doesn't it?
You bet. And a lot of it from that San Francisco offense. 3rd and 7.
That play is not challengeable by rule. It cannot be challenged. There is no timeout or challenge charge. It's 3rd down.
Well, the crowd is booing, but there's nothing to challenge. The ball hit the ground. And Harbaugh says reset the play clock.
Tell you, Kaepernick with that 94-mile-an-hour fastball that he had when he was a baseball pitcher is showing up. He said he had no problems with the elements, and so far we're seeing that tonight. He's slinging it.
Making his 5th start, took over for Alex Smith before the Monday nighter against Chicago. And the pass to the end zone is caught by Randy Moss for a touchdown. So a perfect beginning as the 49ers come in. The defense creates a 3-and-out, and the offense marches down the field in 2:40, going 63 yards in 6 plays, a 24-yard touchdown pass to Randy Moss.
As soon as the safety slides to the middle of the field, Colin Kaepernick knows he's going to have Randy Moss one-on-one on the outside. And bingo, what an impressive drive that was by Colin Kaepernick. And for Randy Moss, takes the huge hit early on, then shows the speed for the touchdown. Welcome home, Randy Moss.
156 career touchdown catches for Moss, second only to Jerry Rice in his 197. Now Akers for the point after. And we've played 4 minutes, 5 seconds. And San Francisco leads 7-0. It is one of the more fascinating stories in the NFL, in a year of fascinating stories. The fact that Harbaugh would make the move to go with Kaepernick and take Alex Smith out after Smith had a concussion. But when he got healthy, Kaepernick was still the guy.
Well, and you know, Alex Smith has a 104 quarterback rating that might end up being the best in the National Football League. He's 7 passes short of qualifying. So you've got a guy who's statistically one of the leaders in the NFL, and yet there are so many things that Colin Kaepernick can do. You know, the strong arm we've already seen on that drive. We haven't even really seen his running ability yet.
He has a 50-yard touchdown run in each of the last 2 games. He was drafted by the Chicago Cubs, but opted to play football. And a little look at that arm of his that, as you mentioned before, was throwing fastballs at better than 90 miles per hour in high school in Turlock, California.
But how about the start of this game? You're thinking, okay, Tom Brady and the Patriots are going to come out throwing the ball. The 49ers are going to come out running the ball. And yet it's the 49ers who come right out with the big plays and get it right in the end zone.
Right, and Bill Belichick, who every time he wins the toss defers. One of the reasons he does that is he likes to end the first half with the ball and then get the ball to start the second half. Tonight, the 49ers deferred, did their job defensively. Now the 49ers will get the second half kickoff. At the goal line, Devin McCourty. Out to the 25-yard line. And let's take a look at the Patriot offense.
Tom Brady, Michigan.
Stephen Ridley, Louisiana State University.
Wes Welker, Texas Tech. Brandon Lloyd, Illinois.
Aaron Hernandez, Florida. Michael Holmnow, Illinois. Nate Solder, Colorado.
Logan Mankins, Fresno State.
Ryan Wendell, Fresno State. Dan Connolly, Southeast Missouri.
Sebastian Palmer, University of Houston.
And again, as Michelle reported earlier, Mo Gronkowski again broken forearm. There's some question as to whether he could or couldn't not active tonight. We'll see about next week when they go to Jacksonville. And Brady throws on first down, and back shoulder to Lloyd. Down the sideline he goes to make the catch. Got position on Terrell Brown, and it's a first down on a gain of 23.
First of all, on the outside, here's where the matchup's going to take place, working against Terrell Brown for the big play. But watch Aldon Smith coming on the outside. 19.5 sacks already this season. And Nate Solder knows he's going to have his hands full.
3 shy of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5. And Brady hit as the ball comes out. And that is Smith with those 19.5 sacks and almost at 20.5. But Brady's arm coming forward.
The process of passing the ball. Therefore, it does not matter what direction the ball goes. He was attempting to pass it forward. Second down.
Well, Nate Solder's had some issues with his left side, the oblique, and that was close to a sack fumble for Aldon Smith that time.
2nd and 10 now from the 48. Patriots going no huddle to give the ball to Stephen Ridley, who's on pace to gain better than 1,300 yards on the ground this season. Gain of 2, 3rd and 8 from midfield.
Well, and for Ridley, now you know that it's in his head. You know, you get out here in the elements, you fumble the football early. And one of the things that you have to do with this offense is establish a run against the San Francisco 49ers, and that will be no easy task.
That's Danny Woodhead now flanking Brady. He comes in on 3rd down. On 3rd and 8. Everybody into the pattern, and then Brady has to get away from Aldon Smith just to release it. So Smith with 2 near sacks on that series, and the Patriots to punt again.
Well, credit Justin Smith this time. He's going to set the hook, and then Aldon Smith is going to loop back inside. That was Justin Smith basically grabbing the shoulder pad of Logan Mankins to give Aldon Smith a chance for that sack, and those two worked beautifully together.
Leitcher went to the University of Missouri. Here's Mesko's second punt of the night, and the fair catch is called for and made at the 9-yard line by Ginn. 9:48 remaining in the opening quarter. 7-0. Smith in his second season. Strahan set the mark over a decade ago, so he would need, Smith would, 3 in 3 games to tie. Meanwhile, J.J. Watt had 3 today for Houston, so he has 19.5 as well.
What an incredible battle it is between those two second-year players going for the Defensive MVP award. I guess you throw Von Miller into the mix as well. 3 guys taken just 2 years ago.
Brady huddles with McDaniels. 49ers now from the 8-yard line. After they went 63 yards in 6 plays on their opening drive. Frank Gore. And Chris, so much you can do out of the formation they line up in.
Yeah, it really is. And because they can run power with Frank Gore, they've got LaMichael James back there. They can do it. You can see all the different looks. And then you have a running quarterback, and Colin Kaepernick, that you mentioned, has had 50-yard runs in the last 2 ball games. It's a tough team to try and defend, especially for the Patriots coming on a short week after playing on Monday Night Football.
2nd down and 6. And then they hand it off to Gore. Love the design of some of these plays because you just don't see it that much, and they can do so much now with Kaepernick. And as you say, you know, I mean, what does the scout team do? Who plays Kaepernick if you're the opposition?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is sort of sleight of hand, if you will. Of course, we all think of Oregon, Chip Kelly, some of that look and that offense. And every week now we're seeing something new out of the 49ers.
3rd and 1. And the ball's on the ground. So a fumbled snap. And Hockley comes in, and the 49ers retain possession. But because of the conditions, because of the light rain and the frost and all of that, we've already seen the ball on the ground a couple of times.
Oh, what a quick move by Justin Francis right here. Going to jump right around or between Alex Boone and Jonathan Goodwin and nearly create the equalizing turnover here.
Andy Lee, one of the best in the league to punt. Wes Welker will return it. They had Julian Edelman back there much of the season, but he is on injured reserve right now. So Welker assumes that role. There's a flag down at the outset of the play. And Welker, for the moment, brings the ball back to the 45-yard line. Tackled by Bowman.
During the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 59. That 10-yard penalty is enforced from where the punt was caught. New England keeps the ball after enforcement. First down.
That is Mike Rivera. How tough has New England been in the second half of seasons since the beginning of 2010? 21 consecutive wins, winning games by an average of 20 points. Brady, I mean, that's just otherworldly. 54 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions. So they won their last 8 in 2010, their last 8 last season, their first 5 this season. The last time the Patriots lost a second half of the season game at Houston to end the 09 season, the day that Wes Welker tore up his knee and his career looked to be in jeopardy. Turned out otherwise. Shane Vereen is the running back. Play action. Brady has time. Brady going deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. The 49ers with Carlos Rogers. Out past his 40. Rogers into New England territory. Carlos Rogers with one man to beat, and it's Brady who saves the touchdown. Wes Welker, the intended receiver, and Rogers is going to be a busy man tonight covering the slot man with an interception and a great return.
See if Wes Welker here thinks he got held and almost tried to signal it to the official. Slowed down a bit. Carlos Rogers did not. The 49ers have been in their nickel defense from the beginning here, which moves Rogers inside that matchup with Welker. A huge one tonight. See, he thinks he gets held. He wants to signal it to the referee. See, like he's just going to say, hey, he's holding me, but he slows down, and Rogers just kept on going.
From the 5 on first and goal. Kaepernick throwing, and that is incomplete. Tom Brady, in the first game played here this season when they played Arizona the second week, his first pass was intercepted. He had not had a pass intercepted in this stadium since that day. Had thrown 230 straight without a pick.
But you know, the pressure that was being put on him by Aldon Smith may have hurried Tom Brady up a little bit and made him get it out just a little before he saw Wes Welker open down the field.
He's going to see a lot of 99 tonight, you get the feeling. Second down and goal from the 5. Kaepernick to the outside, and then it'll be caught inside the 5 by Walker, and that ball is loose. Hit by Steve Gregory, picked up by Aqib Talib. And they're going to rule it down back at about the 15-yard line, so this is all for naught right now. And, of course, it gets reviewed, ruled a turnover on the field, but he was down. But again, the conditions coming into play big time in the first part of the first quarter.
Was it ruled down or a catch and down?
Ruling on the field as the pass was caught, fumbled, and then recovered by New England, and the ball.
So does he have possession and both feet down?
The runner was then down by contact.
And his foot, Talib's foot, hit Delaney Walker, so he will be down by contact.
Again, nothing to challenge here because the ruling on the field is a turnover, so automatically reviewed upstairs, real time.
Sort of caught it and made that little move upfield, and I think that's what they saw. Usually they're pretty quick to call those kinds of plays incomplete, but ruled complete and fumble on the field.
They'll review it. Crowd, of course, sees it with their hearts.
The ruling on the field has been confirmed from the booth. The coaches cannot challenge this play.
You know, how big, though, was the tackle by Brady? You go back, he makes the saving tackle. They come out and throw it 2 straight times and get the ball right back.
Exactly, because Rogers was at the 5-yard line. Brady was the last man who could stop him at the 11-yard line. the Patriots begin this drive with Ridley chugging his way up to the 16-yard line. Go back to Brady's tackle, the last guy between Rodgers and the goal line.
Yeah, and that ends up being one of the plays of the ball game so far, and Brady did a nice job eluding Ray McDonald to be able to stay in the play.
Not classic for him, but it got the job done. That's Ridley for a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 3 now for New England, with the ball at the 17-yard line.
Well, I tell you, I have a lot of respect for San Francisco's defense, but coming on the road after what we saw last week against Houston by this New England offense, what an impressive start they are having.
Wild beginning to this game. 3rd down and 3. 49ers on top, 7-0 with 6.5 to go in the opening quarter. Blitz coming, and the pass behind Hernandez incomplete. For those of you who watch the president in Connecticut on NBC News, here's what happened during that period of time. Randy Moss, the former Patriot, on the receiving end of a 24-yard touchdown pass from Kaepernick to make it 7-0. Then Brady throws this interception to Carlos Rogers, who has a terrific run back, and Brady makes a touchdown-saving tackle. And then on 1st and goal, you had the turnover here. Here was Brady's tackle of Rogers to save the touchdown. That would have made it 14-0. Instead, the 49ers turned the ball over. The score is 7-0, and the 49ers have the ball at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10. Michael James is the running back. And the rookie, picked in the 2nd round from Oregon, runs into his own man and then is able to lurch forward for a gain of about 4.
He adds a dimension outside, doesn't he? You know, now you've got Colin Kaepernick, one of the fastest guys playing the quarterback position, Michael James. Early on this season, they had a package they were trying to put together with Kaepernick and Michael James in there, where they were just going to play him a few series here and there. Well, all of a sudden now, those series are getting bigger and bigger with Kaepernick as a starter.
2nd and 6. Running back is Frank Gore. And again, the ball winds up on the ground. And it's Gore who comes in to cover it up. 2nd snap under center that Kaepernick has lost. They're better off in the pistol or shotgun formation.
Yeah, especially with Vince Wilfork playing over the nose. This guy right here, enough to intimidate anybody. Just don't come up with the snap. You know, as a center, you have to move quickly with Vince there. And I tell you, on a night like this, and you always hear that receivers love this kind of night. I've never bought that. This is a tough night to handle the ball.
Especially for the quarterback. Yeah. 3rd and 10. Snap it at 1 on the play clock. Kaepernick rifles one to the outside off the back shoulder, and that is Michael Crabtree. No, flag comes in as well. He was out of bounds, and a marker thrown at the end of the play.
I think he stepped out of bounds, one of the officials with his hat off, and then the first to touch.
Ed Hockley, no doubt, will have an elongated explanation.
Number 15, offense, was legally pushed out of bounds and was the first to touch the ball. That is a penalty, although it's been declined. Brings up 4th down.
Nice job by Dennard, that last little shove. And defensively, the Patriots needed that. You know, they needed a stop just to kind of get this thing back and settled. So despite the fact that it really feels like the 49ers have had all the momentum here early, it's still just a 7-0 game with Tom Brady ready to take the field again.
And Andy Lee to punt for the 2nd time. Lee's first kick was 56 yards. And they fake it. And this is Goldson, Deshaun Goldson, the safety. And Goldson inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The 49ers on a 4th and 10 from their own 41, and it's a 31-yard pickup.
Jim Harbaugh is out of control. I didn't even consider it here. Fake punt. They knew coming around the edge there were two guys on the outside. Really a pretty secure place, you would think, with two guys out there. One of them's going to make the play. You just have to stop them short of 10 yards. Wow.
With Harbaugh, you get anything. 22-6-1 in his 2 years in San Francisco. So he's doing a lot of right stuff. Gore gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Niners last year, you all know, came within inches of going to the Super Bowl, losing in overtime to the Giants at Candlestick Park.
Just a couple of issues with a couple of punts, really the difference in that game. This could have very easily have been the Super Bowl matchup.
Could be this season. Second and 10. And the handoff goes to Michael James. And he gets taken out of bounds by the rookie Alfonso Dennard after a short gain. Pickup of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Well, they're having nothing of this. Rob Ninkovich right over here. Watch him. He's going to come down, and every time Kaepernick thinks about pulling this ball out, he's going to take a little shot. Ninkovich just sending the signal. You want to run, big guy? I'm going to be sitting right here for you.
Niners come up with 3 tight ends in this set. On 3rd and 7. Ball is handed off to Gore, and he gets to the 21. So they'll come up short of the first down, and in will come the field goal unit. And Akers will try to make it a 10-point lead.
Well, Vince Wilfork, you always have your hands full here. You can think you've got him blocked, but not so much. The spin move to get back out of that one. They left Mayo unblocked on that one. A little confusion on the blocking scheme that time.
Akers has been a little ragged lately. 39-yard attempt. Lee to put it down. And he stays ragged. Akers missing, and it's still 7-0 San Francisco. Downtown Boston. About a 45-minute drive from Foxborough. And Tom Brady and company. Brady already a little frustrated. Light rain tonight, temperature in the mid-30s. This is already the 5th possession of the game for New England. And Brady takes this snap out of the shotgun as the drive begins at the 30-yard line. And to the outside, he hits Danny Woodhead out of the backfield for a gain of 7. The Patriots love to go fast. Their offense through week 14, they average 73.3 yards per play, highest average in 17 years. Every 25.3 seconds they snap it, so they have the fastest paced offense in the league. The 49ers would be the slowest. And that'll slow them down.
Start offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Logan Mankins.
Well, for my money, this is the most interesting matchup of all. These two guys going at it right here. Two just old war horses. Logan Mankins, Justin Smith, both cut from the same cloth, both tough guys. It is going to be a wild battle between those two.
That looked like the beginning of a sumo match. Here's a screen, and busting up the screen and making a great tackle as Woodhead makes the catch is Patrick Willis, and that's one reason he winds up in Honolulu every winter.
Yeah, one of the problems you have whenever you're trying to run a screen is if you have man coverage, it's pretty easy, right? You got that guy, you see him sneaking, you're watching him out the whole way. And Willis, you called it, Al. He's been to the Pro Bowl every single year of his career, and that's a big reason why.
Ball 5. 49ers first-round pick out of Ole Miss in 07. Brady comes underneath now. But Shane Vereen loses the ball. And do the 49ers recover before it goes out of bounds? Navarro Bowman created it. And the signal on the field is a turnover and a 49er recovery. Chris Culliver, the corner, recovers again. They'll take a look at this one upstairs.
There's no doubt about it.
The ruling on the field is that San Francisco recovered the ball in bounds, had recovered it before he slid out of bounds. San Francisco ball.
Does he have possession before he slides out of bounds is what they will look at. With a minute to go in the first quarter. 7-0 49ers. Downtown Boston in your frame right there. And of course, Ed Hockley is now taking a look at what was ruled a fumble recovery and has been now confirmed. So New England 5 possessions, 1 first down, 3 punts, and 2 turnovers. From the 34-yard line. Kaepernick. Good protection. Going deep and too deep for Vernon Davis, who got free, but led him by inches. Too much. Second down.
I'll tell you what, you have to work hard to overthrow Vernon Davis. One of the faster players in the game right out here is going to run right by Steve Gregory. He has no chance. The Patriots came with a blitz, and yet another missed opportunity. Everything seems to be going the way of the 49ers here early, and yet they're not converting. You're on the road against a great team. You have to start taking advantage.
Turnover inside the 5, missed field goal. And they try to make this turnover pay off, and Gore gets slammed down after a gain of 9. 25-yard line. That's Dante Hightower, picked in the first round out of Alabama, knocking him to the ground.
Boy, I tell you, Frank Gore's knee got buckled under. Good block in there by Bruce Miller. But watch Frank Gore's knee sort of collapse underneath him and spun around right on it. Very lucky to have survived that one.
8th year for Gore out of Miami. Tremendous career. All-time leading rusher. And this is Gore struggling, trying to pick up that first down. Very close at the 24-yard line.
That was one of the big collisions I've ever seen between a linebacker and a fullback. Holy smokes.
For the moment, Hockley is stopping the clock because they want to measure. And that will be the final play of the quarter because they'll wind it after they measure. That much to go, and they will switch ends of the field. Now what will Harbaugh do?
He's already faked one punt. He's got a great running offense. I've got a guess.
Well, he's going to have a lot of time to think about it because they'll wind the clock and we'll have the break. Another look at the last play.
Watch this. That's a defensive lineman in the game, Will Tukuafu, and Brandon Spikes just, man, what a collision.
They wind the clock. That'll take us to double zeros. End of 1. Wild quarter. 49ers 7, Patriots nothing. And Sunday Night Football from Foxborough, Mass. continues after these messages. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. It's also Friday night's aerial coverage as you look at downtown Boston when we had clear skies about 48 hours ago. Tonight, of course, a different story, but a beautiful shot right there. And we come back to Foxborough. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. And for the moment, the 49ers will line up to go for it on 4th down and inches.
You have to get the snap here. It's not easy.
And look at this formation. And Kaepernick will try to burrow his way, and the ball is loose again. And they don't get it.
He dropped the snap.
He dropped the snap again. They lined up in a formation you only see at the end of a game. And he drops the snap and they turn the ball over.
Anytime you get those 3 guys submarining inside, there's always a danger, and it happened that time. The center has to snap the ball and try and get down so low that so many times you struggle holding on to the football, and that's exactly what happened there. The threat of those 3 monster defensive linemen in there forced Jonathan Goodwin to take that snap and try and get underneath them, and that's right. Kyle Love, Vince Wilfork, they got it done.
So the 49ers, with so many missed opportunities, and you pointed it out, Chris, I mean, it's a game where it almost has the feeling of like 21-0 San Francisco. Instead, 7-0. Patriots have it at the 25-yard line. Ridley takes the ball to the 26-yard line. Gain of 1.
Well, we talked about the #1 scoring defense in the National Football League, and there is a reason why these guys are simply men across the line. And Aldon Smith coming in, according to Justin Smith, that guy right there, is the big reason why. They had plenty of the big stud guys to stop the run, but they needed that flash player, and they got Aldon Smith, and now this defense is just dynamic.
2nd and 9, Brady swinging to the outside, and that'll be caught by Brandon Lloyd, and then Lloyd with a nice little move after the initial contact to pick up the first down. Breaks away from Terrell Brown to move this change.
The one thing that's happening, though, when Tom Brady goes slot to this side, it forces Aldon Smith, who, remember, is an outside linebacker, to walk out. So the more often that they go into that slot formation towards Aldon Smith, it draws him away from the possibility of rushing Tom Brady.
From the 36-yard line.
Here, no slot that side, so he's right on the end of the line of scrimmage.
It was only New England's 2nd first down of the game. Play action over the middle of the pass is incomplete, intended for Aaron Hernandez. So much of New England's offensive prowess due to the 2 tight ends, but Hernandez and Gronkowski have barely played at the same time this year. One of the others been hurt tonight. It's Gronkowski.
You know, Al, it's a great point, because I really feel like one of the things that the Patriots are missing right now is the ability to go with those 2 tight ends and run the football some. Gronk is so much better a blocker than Aaron Hernandez.
Give it to Woodhead, and Woodhead, who normally is in on 3rd down, comes in on 2nd and 10 here, and finds a big hole over left guard to the 46-yard line. First down. Brady working the no huddle up at the line. And with the Niners closing in, the pass is caught by Danny Woodhead in 49er territory. Brady to Gronkowski, now in his 3rd year. 37 TD passes. That's the most in the NFL over that period of time, and Gronkowski has missed the last month. Has caught 10 touchdown passes this season, and they hope to have him back next week at Jacksonville. 2nd down and 4. And the pass is caught by Hernandez. Breaks the tackle and picks up the first down. Broke away from Patrick Willis that time, something you don't see very often.
Man coverage is what you get. Here you go, Patrick Willis against Hernandez. The 49ers probably play more man coverage with their 2 inside linebackers than any team I see in the National Football League.
And now they give the ball to Danny Woodhead. Back to the 35. He goes for a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
And one of the reasons to bring Woodhead into the game, he's the best receiving back that they have. So now you can put him in the backfield or split him out like they're doing here, where he's wide down at the bottom of the screen, and create some matchups that you like.
2nd down and 7. Brady with a ton of time. Going deep over the middle, and it's batted away at the last moment. Intended for Deion Branch, who just rejoined the team. He's looking for a flag and doesn't get it. Brown covering in the play, and he's hurt.
Terrell Brown's going to make a brilliant play reaching over the top. There was all kinds of time, but as Terrell Brown reached around with that left arm, couldn't tell if he got it doing that or when he hit the ground. Just great coverage. Aldon Smith here dropping back in coverage and not coming after the quarterback, and that's a gift for Tom Brady.
Well, Brown got up and he tried to get back into the alignment, and then the trainers came out on the field and said no, 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 no. So he has to come out for at least one play. You have Parrish Cox, number 20, coming in to spell him. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
But this team substitutes very rarely. They typically play 12 people, and so Parrish Cox really does not get all that much playing time. See if Brady comes after him.
Read him.
And Brady going underneath. This is Hernandez, and this time he does not get away from Patrick Willis. He makes the tackle at the 32-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 4, and will the Patriots opt for about a 50-yard field goal attempt here?
There it is again, the man coverage against the very slippery Aaron Hernandez. What an athlete, though, Patrick Willis is. Bill Belichick said that by far he thought he was the best of their cover guys and thought he would end up on Hernandez.
4th and 4, at least they will line up to go for it. Belichick may be thinking about a 50-yard field goal in these conditions. If you miss it, you give the 49ers the ball at the 40-yard line.
64.
And Brady's going to take a timeout. So we looked over the defense. They'll discuss it with 10:59 to go in the half. Too warm to snow. Temperature holding steady at 35 as it has most of the day. Wintry mix. Cold rain. 4th down and 4. New England going for it.
Keep your eye on Danny Woodhead here going against Navarro Bowman in the backfield.
To Brady's left. And then Bowman moves over to the other side now. You've got Welker going in motion. And on 4th and 4, can they convert? Yes, they can. To the 23-yard line, Deion Branch, the longtime Patriot, cut before the season, brought back, cut again, and just brought back again. 1st down.
Well, you're going to get the motion to the outside, and then Branch coming back inside. Just re-signed this week. He's been on and off of this football team probably more than anybody. Comes up huge on that one.
From the 23 on 1st down. To the ground. Give it to Woodhead. And Woodhead doing good work on the ground. Gain of 8. Another reason they may have in the game is Ridley and Vereen have already fumbled. More sure-handed is Woodhead.
Yeah, and I tell you, he almost buckled the knees of Aldon Smith right here. Watch this one. Woodhead's coming right at him. One of the great athletes completely missed.
And then Woodhead again. So Danny Woodhead has been their key part on this series. Takes it to the 10-yard line. First and goal.
I'm sorry, he's probably the guy that Tom Brady trusts the most. Woodhead, he's a good blocker despite his size, not a big guy at all. Terrific route runner, but most importantly, understands some of the complex looks that the 49ers can give him.
Here we go. First and goal from the 10. Call his number again. Gets 3 to the 7-yard line. Tackled there by Justin Smith. 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, one of the staples of this offense for the Patriots is they love using their tight ends coming across formations, and they call it the wham block. It's one of those counters to so many times you go one direction and the line begins to look for you to come that way. All of a sudden, here comes the tight end the other way and just wipes you out.
WHAM or WAM?
I don't know.
Either or. 2nd and goal. Play action. Brady gets jostled as he throws, and that time you had Rodgers coming in on a blitz who broke up the play. 3rd and goal.
Bring this slot blitz that time coming right here, and inside it's Justin Smith who is getting up the field and really pressing that pocket, not allowing Tom Brady to step into his throws.
3rd and goal. 8:51 to go in the half. 7-0 San Francisco.
Brady knows he's got the man-to-man coverage on Woodhead now, based on that motion.
And now Tom will go down, and that's Ray McDonald, who's really one of the unsung guys on the defense that has Justin Smith and Aldon Smith and Willis and Bowman, who get a lot of publicity, and then you've got Ray McDonald getting the sack here.
Double team inside right there on Wes Welker. Hernandez down the field, double teamed as well, that in and out coverage, so they took away their 2 primary targets. Just singled up on Brandon Lloyd.
32-yard field goal attempt now coming for Gostowski. And Stevens' kick is good. So the Patriots finally get on the board with 8.5 to go in the half. And it's 7-3 49ers. Dan Patrick Show with a new home. This week, Dan will have Tony Dungy, Tiki Barber, Greg Jennings, and Victor Cruz as guests. Weekdays, 9 a.m. to noon on the NBC Sports Network. Cold rain in Massachusetts tonight. Defense doing its job at the end, limiting them to a field goal at 7-3, and the 49ers to get the ball now as Gostowski will send it down toward James, and the Michael James, the rookie from Oregon, gets taken down at the 21-yard line. Great tackle there by Mike Rivera. 8:26 to go in the half. 7-3 San Francisco. Colin Kaepernick. They moved up in the draft last year to pick him in the second round at the University of Nevada. Threw up some unbelievable numbers. His first start, he loses the game, but they score 67 points to Boise State in 4 overtimes. 2,000 passing yards, 1,000 rushing yards, 3 straight seasons only player in NCAA history. 59 rushing touchdowns with the Wolfpack. From the 20-yard line, Kaepernick pump faking and then buying time and then going deep down the sideline and broken up. Intended for Crabtree, broken up by Talib, and now there's a flag.
Kind of an interesting call. Talib never turned around and really ran through the receiver.
Flag's all the way down at the 43 of New England.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. The ball is placed at the foul. First down.
Crabtree has every right to turn around and come back for the ball. And once Talib turns his head, he's allowed to go back through him and make that play. It's a good call. That's pass interference. I know it makes people crazy, but it is.
From the 45-yard line, it's a 35-yard penalty. And Kaepernick gives it to Gore. Big hole, gain of 8. Kaepernick is a kid who grew up in Wisconsin, and then his family moved to California when he was 4, Turlock, California, in the San Joaquin Valley. He got 1 scholarship offer, 1 for football, Nevada. He was drafted. He was such a good baseball player. The Chicago Cubs drafted him in 2009. Granted, well down in the draft, they only offered him $30,000, but he wanted to play football so badly he took the 1 scholarship offer to Nevada. Second down and 2 from the 37-yard line. He gives it to Gore again. And Gore moving that whole pile to the 34. As a pitcher in high school, take a look at this. Classic form. That left toe down. Pittman High School, 2-time All-State pitcher, but he just loved football.
Yeah, it's interesting. He said, though, that if Nevada had not offered him the 1 football scholarship he was offered, he would have been off to play baseball. He got recruited by big baseball schools with just the 1 football school.
At the 34. And Kaepernick hanging in the pocket. Deep downfield, and it is caught for a touchdown by Delaney Walker. The rookie Dennard covering on the play, and Walker, who turned the ball over earlier, this time the recipient of a 34-yard Kaepernick pass to put the 49ers up 13-3.
Well, Vernon Davis was running up the seam, and Dennard just sort of bit on him long enough. Let's see if Kaepernick sort of looks down the middle of the field. He does to Vernon Davis and gets Dennard just enough inside. And then that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And I tell you what, this crowd is stunned after what they saw last week against Houston. The assumption was Patriots are on their way to another Super Bowl.
They're number 1 in almost every power poll this week. 49ers have /Pro Bowl, or text Pro Bowl to my NFL. And you can send your favorite player to the Pro Bowl. Send your favorite announcers as well, but we're already signed up for it.
Too late.
Yep, or you can join Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest NFL news.
We are playing golf in Hawaii regardless of for whom they vote.
Yeah, we don't care. 14-3, the kick is fielded at the 2-yard line by Devin McCourty. And he gets tackled at the 18-yard line. 6:54 to go in the half, and San Francisco up by 11 on the road. So that Niner defense, Aldon Smith right there again, 19.5 sacks, 3 shy of Michael Strahan's NFL record. couple of near sacks tonight. Brady takes over at the 18. Ridley is the running back. And Ridley plows forward for a gain of 4. Whitner is in on the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
And now, instead of Gronkowski being in there, they're still going to try and run it a little bit. Michael Omenawinui, number 47, the blocking tight end, checked into the game. And they also have Daniel Fells in there now. So they're going to try and play a little power football or maybe play action off of a run look.
I'm proud of you.
I just had to try it.
2nd down and 6. Brady throws, and that's in and out of the hands of Brandon Lloyd. 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Fred Cadelli, Drew Essekoff introduced this tracer thing, and it's been fun to watch this season. Just this throwing motion. I don't see this 90-degree angle very often. Usually you get a big loop of a throwing motion regardless of who it is. No wonder he gets the ball out of there so quickly.
3rd down and 6. Woodhead in the backfield with Brady. Niners showing blitz for the moment. They don't blitz very often. 2nd least in the league. Show it again. Brady lets that clock go all the way down. Just gets it off. It's a 4-man rush, and the pass is low and incomplete. Intended for Brandon Lloyd. So the 49er defense creates a 3-and-out. Patriots tonight are 0 for 7 on 3rd down tonight.
Come this way and drop out this way. Just the old Pittsburgh Steelers fire zone. And Brady read it pretty well. Just didn't get the completion.
Here's Mesko's punt. Niners doing the job defensively. Patriots #1 in the league in converting 3rd downs coming into the game tonight.
So impressive what the 49ers are doing in defense.
And Mesko's kick is a line drive duck. Is it touched?
Before.
Yes, we have. In the playoffs last year, was it touched is the question. And the Patriots think they have it at the 30-yard line. And we all know what happened last year with Kyle Williams in the NFC Championship game, costing the 49ers a shot at the Super Bowl. And this was Ginn. Does he touch it is the question.
I don't know.
It's spinning.
Oh, I tell you, that's hard to see from that angle. It looked like the other way.
Marquise Cole would have recovered if that is the case. Now the officials are huddling, and the ruling has not been announced yet. It doesn't look like it touches him on that angle.
The other one is the one I think they're going to.
It's so similar to that Kyle Williams play in the playoffs last year, where you had to look at it about 8 times to figure out if he grazed it, even if it just grazes him.
That ball looks like it's so hard to tell. Is it just the bounce, or did it get diverted
During
off?
the kick, holding by the receiving team, correction, by the kicking team, number 57.
All right, that's the first part of it. Now what?
Holding by the kicking team, so maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, you got, first of all, he said 57. There is no 57 for starters. The ball is spinning so oddly, it's almost impossible to tell if it touches him or not.
Boy, if it didn't,
Crazy.
It went right around the bend. Mr. Official, what would you call? Do you see it touch him?
It doesn't look like he touched it. And again, it goes back to the play in the playoffs last year. After you looked at it enough times, you could see where it did touch Williams. And Hockley will gather the forces. The entire law firm is out there right now. So if he doesn't touch it, the 49ers get the ball where it was downed.
Man, is that close.
But again, you're going to need, of course, the phrase you've heard 18 million times, the irrefutable visual evidence. All right, here comes Hockley with the call, the initial call.
The ball was illegally touched, but it was then recovered by the kicking team. However, there was a holding by the receiving team, number 57. That penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. We'll replay 4th down.
By the receiving team or by the kicking team?
He said originally the kicking, then he said the receiving team.
I think he's going to have to redo that announcement.
I think so, too. Because originally the call was holding on the kicking team, then it's holding on the receiving team. And we're trying to figure out where the illegal touch happens as well. What's the illegal touch here? This?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the illegal touch, I believe, just when they recover the ball down the field. Wow.
And then Belichick's going to take the challenge flag out, at least for the moment. That's why the crowd is responding. The illegal touch after the ball passed Ginn.
New England is challenging the ruling on the field that the ball was not touched, and therefore that the recovery wasn't legal. If the ball was touched first by the receiving team, it would be a legal recovery by New England down there.
We have nothing to add. We're just going to go to commercial and give you a break here. Back after this. Well, Hockley has reviewed it. He's discussing it. This has taken forever. We've had all kinds of announcements, issues, a holding call. Not sure whether it's the kicking team or the receiving team.
I'll tell you the other part of it. Bill Belichick was not going to throw that flag after what happened to Jim Schwartz. He held on and asked questions.
Right. Ed charging $1,000 an hour at his law firm.
The ruling on the field stands as called. However,
please, ladies and gentlemen,
the penalty was forced from the ball legally recovered by New England because the ball was not touched by San Francisco. There will be a 10-yard penalty against the receiving team at that spot. And San Francisco to keep the ball first.
Well, the crowd doesn't want to hear anymore. The one part you did hear him say was that the ball was not touched by Ginn. So you go back, we've looked at this a number of times, and that's the ruling in terms of this part of the play.
Yeah, and then the hold had to have been on the receiving team because they're going to take that back from the point of the downing.
Again, we talked about the championship game, and this turned out to be a turnover because Kyle Williams could not get out of the way.
Of course, they could not advance it at that point, but they could recover it.
Turned out to be a gigantic play, and then you had a fumble in overtime by Williams. And you know the rest of the story. The Giants, in case you haven't heard, went to Indianapolis and won the Super Bowl.
49ers going to quit putting return men back there.
Especially on a night like tonight. So Kaepernick's going to come out. The offense will take over. It's about as lengthy a delay as I can recall. And now Belichick wants to know where the ball is going to get spotted.
Now everybody's mad. Both head coaches don't like this spot.
The hold was on the 49ers. That's the one thing we can clear up right now. It was on Michael Wilhoit. So it was on the 49ers. Hockley's trying to address the crowd again, but his mic's not working.
The spot should have been marked off from where it was first touched by the Patriots.
Exactly.
Seems like that thing is back pretty far.
So both coaches are arguing the
New
case.
England has charged a timeout for the challenge.
Well, that's just cleaning up the back end of the challenge. What about where the ball is? And you're right. They're going to mark. They mark it off from where it was recovered, so the ball's going to go to the 22-yard line, at least for the moment, until it is heard in the Court of Appeals.
The ball was touched initially and kicked backwards, so I think they got the benefit of kicking it backwards themselves. Maybe not.
Well, play resumes after a week and a half. The ball's at the 22-yard line. 14-3 San Francisco, and Kaepernick gets flushed out. He's great on the run. He throws against the grain, and the pass is incomplete. Steve Gregory comes in to break up the play, intended for Crabtree. Kaepernick taking over. There is Alex Smith, who guided this team almost into the Super Bowl last year, was having a very good season. Suffered a concussion, and then when he was ready to go, Harbaugh made the change anyway to Kaepernick in the Monday night game against Chicago, and it's been Kaepernick's team since. 2nd and 10. Inside handoff goes to Frank Gore. Gore up to the 28-yard line, tackled there by Brandon Spikes. Gain of 7. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Frank Gore just so slippery inside. There's big Wilfork inside. Got the double team. Having a little trouble keeping his footing. And if you can move Vince, you know you've accomplished something. But Gore tough to bring down.
Mike Iupati needs some attention. Sunday Night Football brought to you by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By Nissan, innovation for today, innovation for tomorrow, innovation that excites. And by Microsoft Surface. In 2008, the Hall of Patriot Place here in Gillette Stadium. Chronicling the history of this organization. Iupati out. Davis comes in at left guard. Iupati injuring his shoulder. It's 3rd down and 3. And Kaepernick is flushed out. Throws, and it's caught. Crabtree makes the catch, stays in bounds, picks up a little extra yardage out in front of the 49er bench at the 37-yard line.
Here's the difference. Here's why Colin Kaepernick is in the game. Going to come with a blitz. Everybody coming inside. They've got issues. He's able to escape around and find Crabtree, who has been Mr. 3rd down for the 49ers. Came into the game with 17 3rd down conversions. The whole rest of the team had 20. But Kaepernick's the one that made that play.
Kaepernick 7 out of 12 for 108 yards. And he's such a running threat, but we haven't seen that aspect yet tonight. Sooner or later we will. Meanwhile, who needs a running threat when you have Frank Gore taking the ball into Patriot territory to the 48. All-time leading rusher in San Francisco history through some lean seasons. And now, of course, with one of the best teams in the league, still going very strong in his 8th year in the league.
I'll tell you, Frank Gore's 6 times over 1,000 yards, that time running behind Leonard Davis, former Cowboy in for Mike Iupati.
From the 48, give it to Gore again. It's a hard-earned 2 yards, tackled there by Dante Hightower. As we tick down to 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Gore is one of the most patient backs you'll see. Watch the little jump cut. He's just going to take his time. Dedrick was in the hole and turns it into something there. But, Al, doesn't it feel like the pace of this game? We had the fastest paced team in the Patriots against the slowest paced team in the 49ers, and the pace has definitely favored the 49ers in this.
No doubt, and a lot of missed opportunities for the 49ers. It's 14-3. It could be a lot worse for the Patriots. 2nd and 8. And that pass is caught for a first down, and that's Vernon Davis. And Davis will cut it back the other way, and then he almost gives up the first down. Gets tackled at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10.
Well, that time they caught the Patriots with their linebackers in man coverage. Here's Brandon Spikes going to work against Vernon Davis right here, and that is not a good matchup. Vernon Davis ran about a 4.3 something at the combine. And, of course, Brandon Spikes not nearly that fast. Big, strong, athletic. athletic, only had 3 catches in the last 3 games, and it was so much a part of the conversation in San Francisco this week. Where has Vernon Davis been? Had the big shot early, missed it, working back to him now.
Kaepernick's been targeting Crabtree a lot. First down, they just do get the playoff. And Kaepernick in the pocket, deep downfield, incomplete, intended for Vernon Davis. 2nd and 10 for San Francisco.
Yeah, maybe an opportunity here for Kaepernick to put a little air underneath this. So many times young quarterbacks with big, strong arms, they want to show it off and throw that good line drive in there. Had an opportunity instead of putting a little air underneath this one and letting the faster man run. That line drive just went over his head.
2nd and 10. It's Jenkins, their top draft choice, wide right. To toss back to James. And Michael James bounces his way for a 3-yard pickup to the 34-yard line, and we check in with Michelle.
Well, Al, Mike Iupati has gone back to the locker room. When he came off the field, he was holding that right shoulder. We'll see after they evaluate it further what's going on with him, but in the locker room for the moment, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And that's Leonard Davis, the 11-year veteran, who takes that spot. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Shot of 30 Rock Toyota halftime show coming your way from that locale, and Bob Costa's here as well.
Haven't seen Kaepernick run yet in this one. Might be an interesting time for it. Already in field goal range.
3rd down and 8 from the 34-yard line. Kaepernick stepping up. Nice call. Great call. Inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. Boy, you can feel it. You should be coaching.
Yeah, please. You know, anytime you want to try and bring some kind of stunt, you always open it up. They're going to bring Hightower around here and open up the gap to Kaepernick's right. And you could almost see that he was sort of looking for it. Just has a nice feel. And I tell you, this kid in the open field is really something. He's a sprinter.
Gain of 19. The ball is at the 15-yard line. Kaepernick, 6'4" and 230. Fakes the inside give. That buys a ton of time, and then the pass is incomplete. Randy Moss, who caught a touchdown pass earlier, covered by the rookie Dennard.
Pretty lucky here. Kaepernick really gets away with one. If you're going to make this throw out here, you've got to make it up over the top. Let the taller receiver, Randy Moss, make a play. Dennard almost came up with one of those drive stoppers and really should have on that one. Details of the throw sometime. Do you go line shot? Do you lob it up? A couple of times this drive, I thought he could have big plays. Put a little air under it.
2nd and 10 from the 15. Gore to the 11-yard line. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, the other significance of this drive, though, is that you've basically taken away any of Tom Brady's opportunities to go the other way. You know, again, the pace of the game, they're taking the full shot clock, if you will, running it down, and Tom Brady's been on the sideline so long he's having to get warm again.
Well, they only have one timeout. Used one before a 4th down play. Used one on the failed challenge. And remember, the 49ers will also get the ball to begin the second half. So they're looking for back-to-back possessions. They're going to take this one all the way down and call a timeout with 25 seconds. 3rd and 6 when we come back to Foxborough. 49ers outgaining New England by a 2-1 margin. Have the ball for almost 17 minutes. This would be lowest scoring half for New England this season. Only 3 points for the league's #1 team in points per game. 3rd down and 6 now. 49ers have 2 timeouts at their disposal from the 11. And the ball is handed off to Gore. And Gore will make it a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. And the 49ers will take their second timeout right here. First and goal coming up.
That read option, such an interesting thing to watch. Going to look at Chandler Jones right here, but almost runs into Vernon Davis on the mesh point there.
Now first and goal. This is the 13th play of the drive. And Kaepernick will loft one from Moss, and he can't one-hand it, and he flag is thrown. That's Talib covering.
It had to be on Moss. I mean, Moss fully extended his arms there. That was a much better throw.
Pass interference offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
I don't even think Randy's going to argue that one. You get out there, you can get away with bent arm pushing, if that makes any sense at all. But once those arms go straight, you're going to get it on the other side. Talib said, oh, come on.
So does Harbaugh.
Yeah, good call, though.
First down and goal. That moves the ball back to the 14-yard line. Moss comes back to the bench. Three receivers to the left, and now Kaepernick's going to take off with it inside the 10 and out of bounds at the 3. So with 8 seconds, it's going to be second down and goal. And the most important thing is they do have a timeout, and you now have Dennard down on the ground.
Remember this play that Alex Smith ran against the New Orleans Saints in the playoff game last year? Scored from about 25, 30 yards out. They came back to it again and almost got another one. Everybody out front.
Student body left.
For the injured player.
New England gets charged a timeout for the injured player. Chris, we've watched Kaepernick tonight. We've watched Russell Wilson in Seattle. We're going to see those guys next week. I mean, San Francisco against Seattle. We know about RG3. I mean, there are things like the Wildcat that come and go, but what about the new form of quarterback right now? How long is this going to last?
You know, it used to be the Wildcat, you know, Ronnie Brown and Tebow, but these guys are throwers. You know, they have the ability to run, but as we've seen tonight, Kaepernick is really a guy that is a thrower first and has made more big plays in the passing game than he has with the runs.
You know, you think of the 49ers through the years, it goes back to Frankie Albert and Y.A. Tittle, and then John Brody and Steve Spurrier and Brody and Tittle. And remember, Montana had to hand it off to Young, and that was a little sloppy at the end too, but it all worked out.
It did, and you have to admire Harbaugh. I mean, everybody is under the belief that you don't lose your job because of injury, and that's no question. Alex Smith with a concussion, he came back and he was ready, but it's the potential of this guy. It's what he could be, not necessarily what he is now, but come playoff time, what could he be? And I think we're seeing a little bit of that tonight.
He's pretty good right now. He's on the road. He's leading 14-3 at New England, and he has a second down and goal.
And a timeout to burn, so anything's a possibility here.
Moss wide right. Line up in that pistol. Ball is handed off to Gore, and now they'll have to take a timeout here and opt for a field goal to make it a 17-3 game. So, in a way, another kind of squandered opportunity for the 49ers, who've had a bunch, but will still go into the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, they did. The pass interference call on Moss ended up being a huge one. Big guy right up the middle. It's one thing about this offense is occasionally with guys like Frank Gore and LaMichael James, you'll see them occasionally hand that thing off and it goes like 80 yards right up the gut for a touchdown. LaMichael James did that a ton in college. And of course, all these coaches for San Francisco were part of the Stanford coaching staff, and they said, to heck with that, we're going to draft him.
20-yard field goal attempt at the length of an extra point to make it a 14-point lead. Akers with Lee putting it down, and the kick is good, and that takes us to halftime with the score: the San Francisco 49ers 17, New England 3. Coming up next, the Toyota halftime show. First, these messages from your local NBC station. deep, and it's intercepted. Carlos Rogers, one man to beat, and it's Brady who saves the touchdown.
Well, this thing has energy right from the start, doesn't it?
You bet. Deep downfield, and it is caught for a touchdown by Delaney Walker.
And I tell you what, this crowd is stunned.
Follow your favorite team all season long. Check out itunes.com/NFL. Downtown Boston. And we come back now to Foxborough and take a look at the numbers for the first half. 49ers 142 yards on the ground. Have outgained them better than 2-1. And New England has turned the ball over twice. And San Francisco leads by 14 at the break. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya. Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Mass.
113 yards for Tom Brady and company. I mean, this offense, you look at, we had a whole sheet of statistics on their dominance on third down, and really nothing has gone right for this football team in the first half, probably because they're playing the 49ers defense.
And Wes Welker has not caught a pass tonight. 49ers get the ball 4 yards into the end zone. This is LaMichael James. And James takes it out to the 30-yard line, and we go to Michelle.
Well, Al, you guys mentioned that the 49ers defense held the Patriots to their lowest first-half scoring of the season. I asked Jim Harbaugh about that, and he said he just really likes the way his team is playing, team defense, but he also said he was going to emphasize at halftime the missed opportunities and mistakes. As for Bill Belichick, he just shook his head and said, we just got to play better. We didn't do anything well in that first half, Al.
Thank you, Michelle. Bill Belichick is saying we always have to play better. They can win 58-0. But he's right tonight. Ball at the 30-yard line. And a first down. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Crabtree.
How about the first half for Colin Kaepernick? It was just terrific early on. The first one to Randy Moss, saw the safety slide over to the middle of the field. Hits Moss in his return. Watch this one. This is my favorite one, though. Kaepernick's going to look left. Then he's going to look at Vernon Davis down the middle of the field. Denner's going to slide in at the corner a little bit. Right in there. Watch his eyes. Left, middle, outside. Looks like Tom Brady doing.
Mike Yapati, who was hurt at the end of the first half, is back in at left guard. Got a shoulder issue. And Gore gets bounced back before he reaches the line of scrimmage, and that's going to make it third down and about 12.
Well, eventually you've got to get past that guy, Vince Wilfork, right up here. They're going to try and double team him. They're trying to draw a little bit off of him. That time they bounced Mayo in there to draw a blocker so they couldn't double team down on Wilfork. And now they've got the third and very long.
3rd and 15, as it turns out. As they let the play go after his forward progress was stopped, and down he went at the 25. Kaepernick will sling it back on a screen to Gore. And Gore on a 3rd and 15 picks up 26 yards on the screen and into Patriot territory.
Bill Belichick might get sick on the sideline. Are you kidding me? You're going against a second-year quarterback, and you're going to allow a screen to break out of there on this one. Mayo had him in man coverage, and yet they were able to get down. I think that was Alex Boone who was able to pick him off. A disaster defensively for the Patriots.
Kaepernick 9 of 17 for 133. And this time it's Anthony Dixon. So Anthony Dixon, the third-year back out of Mississippi State, his first carry of the night. And that's a gain of 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
You know, Bill Belichick just not used to seeing this. You know, okay, his defense is hanging in there. They're getting beat on some plays. But it usually does not matter, because the flip side of that is the ability of his offense to score points in record numbers, averaging over 35 points a game, and they have 3.
On 2nd and 5, short drop, pass caught. That'll be a first down. That's Michael Crabtree taking it to the New England 38-yard line. Crabtree, picked in the first round, played at Texas Tech. A little shaken up on that last play, and they clean him up along the way. In his 4th year, took him a little while to get going to stay healthy, but now all of a sudden he's evolving into one of the best receivers in the league.
Yeah, had a lot of issues with his foot, I believe it was, over the past couple of years. Couldn't really practice in training camp much, but you're seeing him now become the dominant player that they thought he could be when they drafted him so high.
10th overall pick in 09. From the 38-yard line. Action up front. Flag goes down, so a free play in essence. And this is Gore. Chandler Jones came across the line for New England. Hit Hockley, hopefully with a new microphone.
Offside, defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
You know, the Patriots are really jammed in there, and almost that Bears defense kind of look. They're trying to cover up the 2 guards and the center, and they're doing that because of the ability of these guys to take the football in the running game right at them. And that time it was Chandler Jones jumping off sides.
1st and 5. Look at that time. And the pass picked off in the end zone by Devin McCourty. Randy Moss, the intended receiver, and McCourty with the big pick. And Brady and his group take over at the 20 when we come back to Foxborough.
Just like he did last week, Devin McCourty with a game-changing interception. The Patriots hope he just made another one. Go with the bootleg action by Colin Kaepernick here, but because he does that, he's got his back turned, doesn't see McCourty on the backside. So yes, Moss was open on the front side safety, but he just simply never picked up the backside safety, McCourty, who stayed in the middle of the field. A young player's mistake there. You have to check that backside, and he will remember next time.
McCourty making the switch from corner to safety. Gives them the ball back. San Francisco's 2nd turnover. Each team has turned the ball over 2 times tonight. And Brady on 1st down throwing. And that is Brandon Lloyd down the sideline, hauling it in with tight coverage at the 49-yard line. Color recovering on the play, gain of 29 yards.
How about this throw? I mean, this is perfect coverage. Turns around, looks. I don't think Culver can believe he didn't get it. And the pace. Now comes the pace.
Brady now 11 of 20. Took him this long to get over 100 yards. And again, Welker has not caught a ball tonight. Carlos Rogers doing a great job on the slot receiver tonight. It's 2nd down and 10.
You don't see the 49ers very often allow a receiver to get inside from the slot unless they've got help in there. They did not have the help that time, so a win for Welker on this one.
2nd and 10. 4-man rush per usual. And this is caught by Hernandez in the tight end to the 41-yard line and close to a first down, pulled down by Patrick Willis. And it is a first down.
Well, one big difference is that Nate Solder, playing the left tackle, who came into this game plenty sore, had to miss some practice this week, has gotten a much better feel for Alden Smith now.
Back on the ground they go, and Ridley with a big hole and loses the ball again. And the 49ers wind up with it. And it's Goldson who's going to run it back. He's inside the 40. There's a flag down. Goldson is going to be pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line. There's a flag down at midfield. Dante Whitner forced the fumble. And that's the 2nd time that Ridley has lost the ball tonight.
One of the Patriots went low against one of the defenders. Whenever there's a turnover, you cannot go low, and so this is going to stand. Ridley for the 2nd time tonight now.
After the change of possession, personal foul, illegal block below the waist by New England during the return. That penalty is enforced from the end of the run, half the distance to the goal. Ball first down.
Another big play for Golson. Fake punt before. You got a block below the waist. You'll see it right there. Is it?
Yeah, neither side is allowed to go low on a turnover. They're trying to bring the safety into the game, and it doesn't matter. Once there's a turnover, neither side is allowed to go below the waist.
Well, Whitner creates the fumble. Brady was again in position to make another tackle at the end of the play.
I'll tell you, that Dante Whitner is a guy that is a tackling machine.
3 turnovers for New England. First time they've done that in a game this season. And then the ball is loose again. And you've got Gore. And the 49ers turn it into a touchdown. Almost another huge blown opportunity for the 49ers. But this time, their luck changes. And Frank Gore takes it, and another look at the snap. Again, Kaepernick having trouble with it. But of all things, a 4-leaf clover winds up in the backfield.
Yeah, it's not too bad having a 4-leaf clover like Frank Gore in the backfield who can turn something out of nothing. But that is becoming an issue. I'm not sure that if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm doing anything else tonight under center. That has been where the issue is. Leave him back in the shotgun.
David Akers for the point after. And with 10:38 remaining in the third, how are all those power poles looking? I told you, it's a changeable feast. Week to week, quarter to quarter. 24-3 San Francisco.
I think Terry Bradshaw has been on there about 175 times.
Trying to eclipse the mark set by Bob Uecker with Johnny Carson.
Oh, my gosh. I love watching Bradshaw in there.
Always fun. And that's Devin McCourty downing it in the end zone. Take a look at the turnover situation. The Patriots all season fewest in the NFL, 10 through week 14, 3 tonight.
Yeah, and the problem is, yes, Brady has an interception, but they're getting beat now by guys not named Brady. You know, at some point now you have to say, if we're going to lose a game to a defense of this caliber, the ball's got to be in Tom Brady's hands, and it will be now.
Down by 3 touchdowns. The ball is at the 20-yard line. And Brady throws, and that is caught by Hernandez, but no, flags are thrown, ruled incomplete, and a flag, and then another flag comes in at the end of the play on the hit by Golson.
I don't think there's any doubt what the penalty is going to be. Sean Golson had it measured up pretty good, and they're going to say that it was helmet-to-helmet contact. A defenseless player, obviously a receiver in that position, can't lead with the helmet.
Personal foul by the defense, number 38, a hit against the defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Great break on the ball. The problem is, in the league right now, you can't do this. This has always been such a big part of playing defense in the NFL, dislodging the ball from a receiver. But now receivers a little braver going down the middle because they're not supposed to be able to take shots like that. You can see the head rock back.
So a 15-yard penalty moves the ball to the 35. First down. 10.5 left in the third. Brady will slip it to the outside, and it's picked off again. This is Smith, and Aldon Smith with the deflection, the interception on the pass intended for Aaron Hernandez.
The throw is just upfield, Al, and Hernandez flinched a bit on the catch. Watch him right here. It's thrown upfield. He short arms it, gives it a little bit of the gator arms there. And as a result, Aldon Smith adds to his resume. This has been an incredible night of defense for the San Francisco 49ers. Let's start there. But offensively, I can't remember a night like this for the Patriots.
No, on both sides. I mean, the 49ers do this a lot defensively. Second in the league overall defense. fewest points allowed, going against the team that leads the league by a mile in yardage and in points. Now Kaepernick, great protection over the middle. It is caught. Michael Crabtree for the touchdown. Whoa. Who would have believed this? They get the turnover straight down the middle. Tremendous protection. 27 yards. And going on 31-3 after the extra point.
Little hesitate and go, and a gutsy catch right between the two safeties. One thing that I'll say is that the Patriots have two of the smaller safeties in the league. They have speed guys back there with Gregory and McCourty, but their corners are actually bigger than what their safeties are. Not a lot of fear running between them.
And the 49ers taking advantage of that tonight as Akers boots it through. So less than 5 minutes into the third quarter, the Seahawks do a 50 spot up in Toronto today against Buffalo, 58 against Arizona last week. So all of a sudden, you got the Seahawks and the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. That figures to be something. McCourty from the 2-yard line. And he'll bring it back to the 26-yard line, and back we go to the touchdown pass to Crabtree.
All right, check this one out. Colin Kaepernick now. We told you 94-mile-an-hour fastball in baseball, 60 miles an hour in football. Now, I'm telling you, tremendous quarterbacks throw in the 54, 55-mile-an-hour range. That one was impressive. He uncorked that one. And sometimes, Al, you see one of those games and you go, you remember the night that I saw Colin Kaepernick go in and tear up the Patriots? This is one of those nights.
On the road. In the rain. And that's incomplete. Intended for Woodhead. Largest deficit at home since 1998 when they were in the old stadium, when they trailed by 31 points against the Falcons. And Bob Kraft and Jonathan Kraft have not seen very many nights like this. The Patriots have been tremendous here since the park opened in 2002, and they've been unbelievable in late season and in December. 2nd and 10. But tonight a whole other story, and that is incomplete. And Patrick Willis is right there to make sure Hernandez doesn't come up with it. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
I really did not think that anybody, including the 49ers, as good as they are, could come out and play man coverage across the board and win every battle. They're winning every battle out here tonight. There's just no doubt about it. I mean, Wes Welker's getting beat down the field by Carlos Rogers. The two linebackers are taking care of Woodhead and Hernandez. It is a very impressive performance.
3rd and 10 as the Patriots try to convert their first 3rd down of the night. The team that leads the league in 3rd down conversion percentage. And that is caught by Hernandez, and sooner or later they had to make one, and they do. To the 44-yard line he goes for a gain of 17.
Well, there you go. Now they change it up and they put Hernandez in the backfield so that he gets a little space to create these one-on-one routes. Now he gets a two-way go against Willis and picks up the 1st down.
And this is Woodhead to the 49. 49ers, if they win tonight, and they're up by 28, will clinch a playoff berth, but not the division. That's still up for grabs as San Fran and Seattle meet next week on Sunday Night Football, and Seattle can pull to within a half a game. You got that tie that makes things very interesting. That one time with St. Louis a few weeks back.
I think Colin Kaepernick makes things very interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of time left, though. We have, 4-something minutes here, and Tom Brady.
Against a defense that allows 14 a game. Good luck. Here's Welker. And that's Welker's first catch of the night as he takes it to the 44-yard line.
It's just human nature to back up a little bit. You've got this kind of lead, but sometimes you get a chance to build momentum in a game in these sort of situations as well.
And Brady underneath again, and Hernandez will get ridden down by Dante Whitner after a short gain.
These two safeties about as good as I've seen, and we talked to some of the Patriots players as well and asked them, and they really feel like, especially as Deshaun Goldson is a guy that they have real problems with trying to read inside. So Brady is going to watch him on every pass.
And Brady with a play fake, and then Woodhead. And he gets the first down. What a difference 6 days make. At this stage of the game on Monday night, they led the Texans by 28. The Texans, in the minds of many, were defrocked that night, though they bounced back today to beat Indy. And now the 49ers lead by 28.
Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to a team is to spend all week having everybody tell you you're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And Brady's pass. Picking up little chunks over the middle. Deion Branch for a gain of 7.
Now, there's no reason to come out of their game plan. I mean, they clearly have a chance here. And now Aldon Smith, because they're going hurry up, has got to come out of the game. So the top pass rusher now is out due to the pace.
52 somebody. Wait, 20. Wait.
And the two defensive linemen with their hands on the ground as Woodhead will squirt to the 22-yard line.
Here's one of the issues you have when Gronkowski's not in the game. Aaron Hernandez is going to do this wham block, but he is not Gronkowski. When he takes this hit, he is the one that absorbs it, and he got hurt on the play.
He's the whammy. Flag is thrown, and the pass is caught for a touchdown.
It's coming back.
The initial signal by Brandon Lloyd, but a flag at the inception of the play.
That's Brandon Lloyd that moved. He was on the ball. He had to get off the ball. He moved prior to the snap.
Illegal shift by the offense. 2 men were moving and did not reset. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
They try to go to the quick snap, but as an offensive player, you got to get out there and get set. Not sure he was in bounds anyway on this one. We'll see. Not from that one. One down on the line probably anyway with the dreaded toe heel.
Would have been overturned. The ball back to the 27 on 1st and 15. And Brady has to get rid of it as it slips away. Smith was coming in almost unabated. 2nd down and 15.
Aldon Smith out there talking. They fooled him, I think. They've been sort of flanking him out when they have that slot formation. And I think Tom Brady almost took it for granted he wasn't going to come on one of those blitzes from that far out. Snuck in there and throw it away.
And over the middle, Hernandez makes the catch. 49ers are going to let him have all the 4- and 5-yard short passes they want as the clock keeps ticking down to 6:40 to go in the third. Rodgers makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Best 3rd down team in the league. This is an interesting one. You don't necessarily have to have the 1st down here. This could very easily be 4-down territory.
Down by 28, no question. Woodhead. That'll make that move because he'll set up a 1st down and goal, taking the ball to the 5-yard line. 8 carries for 58 yards for Danny Woodhead.
Well, this is why they love him so much, the power, and he just gets behind that big offensive line and goes.
At the 6-yard line, here's Woodhead again, and Danny Woodhead, can he get to the goal line? Yes, he can. Touchdown. So in a night when their primary back, Ridley, has fumbled twice, Woodhead seeing most of the rushing action and did a great job on that drive.
Well, we've heard it before so many times that it's tough to pick up Danny Woodhead in the backfield. Looked like he spun his way around and crossed the plane there. Good call, impressive drive. Nate Solder, who is shaken off, I think, a little bit of that injury early on. The oblique has been giving him problems. Sealed the edge, and Tom Brady finally got one done.
Steven Gostkowski for the extra point after the Patriots' first touchdown of the night. And that makes it a 3-touchdown lead for the San Francisco 49ers. 31-10 in the 3rd. Danny Woodhead Woodhead right there scored the touchdown after the Patriots go 73 yards in 13 plays. 4 rushes. Woodhead gets into the end zone to make it 31-10. Michael James back deep. 49ers protecting against an onside possibility here. As a bunch of them rushed up toward the line, and it is a touchback, and we go to Michelle.
Well, Al, you guys were talking about how Colin Kaepernick was such a good baseball player, but so committed to stick with football. He knew it from the 4th grade on. Look at this letter he wrote to himself, which was to be opened 7 years later. He wrote, "I'm 5'2", 91 pounds, good athlete. I think in 7 years I will be between 6 feet and 6 feet 440 pounds. I hope to go to a good college in football and then go to the pros and play on the Niners or the Packers, even if they aren't good in 7 years." Al, what are the odds?
What are the about 1,000,000 to 1 as Michael James picks up 17th. And Michelle is such an engaging guy. We got to talk to him yesterday. Jim Harbaugh says wise beyond his years, and you can see it. I mean, he walks into the room and you think this is a guy who's been playing in the National Football League for 10 years, not 2.
Yeah, and a couple of the guys on the team told me that, this whole team perked up a little bit when he got the starting quarterback job. And the first words out of their mouths, no offense to Alex Smith, he did great for us, but he has something, and great quarterbacks have that little charismatic something to them that makes a difference.
Well, he's showing the country tonight. The only thing he's had trouble with is the snap, and he almost had trouble with that one as well, as the ball is handed off to Gore, and he loses a yard or 2.
They're trying to stay with the formula here, and the formula has been for the 49ers to run the football, and obviously this snap has been an issue all night long. Run the football in short throws. 73% of their passes are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, and yet tonight, with the way Kaepernick is playing, it's the down-the-field throws, maybe that the Patriots weren't totally expecting, that have been the difference.
2nd and 12. And the ball is handed off to Dixon. The touchdown that Gore scored before was a fumble return. Remember when Kaepernick dropped it? It goes into the books as a fumble return. There he is. He, Roger Craig, and Joe Perry each with 50 rushing touchdowns. So the next one puts him atop everybody in the record book. And that goes in the books as a return touchdown. That's the first return touchdown New England has allowed all season. Brady warming up, can't wait to get back in. It's 3rd down and 10.
Huge play here.
Yeah, it's at this point in the game, and the crowd senses it as well. And Kaepernick will throw, and that's over the head of Crabtree. So New England gets the stop, and it's 4th down.
Really good coverage here by Aqib Talib, and what a difference this guy has made on this football team. Here he is right here, man-to-man to the corner route. One of the most difficult ones to cover, anticipated it beautifully. But we have seen Talib now be able to take out the other team's #1 receiver in man coverage. Huge difference on this defense.
Andy Lee booming one, fielded at the 12-yard line, and Walker can go next to nowhere. Brady will start from the 14, 3:39 remaining in the 3rd. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Walmart. More gifts, more Christmas from America's gift headquarters, Walmart. By BMW, we only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. And by AT&T, rethink possible. It's the 49ers tight end Vernon Davis, an artist, opened Gallery 85 in San Jose last week, showcasing his work as well as work of other artists from the Bay Area. Multi-talented guy as New England takes over at the 14. And Brady sends it to the 31 to Aaron Hernandez, who takes the ball to the 34-yard line. So Tom trying to lead him back, let him on that long drive, and starts this one with a gain of 20.
Always helps when you get a little chip from your friend on the sack leader in the NFL, and Solder ends up picking him up.
3 down! 3 down!
To the 34. Patriots, their huddle, fast pace, trying to get back in it. And Brady being chased by Justin Smith, and then almost has that one intercepted by Dante Whitner. Pass intended for Danny Woodhead, second down.
One of the things the 49ers felt like that they could do to Tom Brady was not blitz him. Last week, Houston blitzed him more than he had seen all season long. Brady now facing just a three-man rush, dropping everybody back into coverage, and the coverage held up.
Second and 10. And Brady slings that one and hits Lloyd for a first down. Brandon Lloyd for a gain of 13 yards, makes his 5th catch of the night.
And Aldon Smith that time dropping into coverage. And I'm sure Tom Brady happy about that. Again, with the slot receiver to his side, he had to drop.
Brady now 20 of 36 for 203. Good protection again, and that's a 9-yard gain as Wes Welker makes the grab.
Al, they've switched to zone defense now. They had great success with man coverage in the first half. Now with the lead, they've switched to more of a zone look, but it's allowed Brady to get some rhythm going.
Taking advantage of it, second down and 1. Has time, going deep, and it is hauled in by Mawanui as he makes the catch, his first catch of the night, and sets up a 1st and goal. And how this one has flipped around. 41 yards.
Al, this is officially option number 17 on this play. Mawanui has 2 or 3 catches on the season.
And then over right guard, they try to run the ball in with Woodhead. It'll be second down and goal.
You know, you prioritize when you're on defense, and you see Daniel Fells or Michael Mawanui in the game, and you go, oh, it's a run play, or they're not going to throw it to him. They're going to throw it to one of the other guys, and then he makes one of the big plays of the night, and here come the Patriots.
Oh, Mawanui only with 3 catches all season, that being the 3rd. Second and goal. And this is, again, would it stop just short of the goal line. And we're under a minute now to play in the 3rd quarter.
You know, Dante Whitner on that one looked like he wasn't even sure what was going on, and then he snuck in between the linemen and made the stop. Here he comes right here, but prior to that snap, he had his back turned to the play almost, was looking around, seeing exactly what they were going to call, and now the Patriots have to score here.
3rd and goal, they bring Ridley in. Brady, of course, is terrific on the sneak. And he'll hand the ball to Ridley, and Ridley gets stuffed before he can get to the goal line. So despite those 2 fumbles, brought him back. Aldon Smith makes the stop. A flag is thrown. They pick it up. A skirmish here, but clock keeps on ticking, and it's going to be 4th down and goal. And they will change ends of the field as we will go to the 4th quarter. New England trying to make a ball game out of it. With a 4th and goal when we come back. 31-10, San Francisco. Sunday Night Football back after these messages. Start the 4th quarter, Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Huge play coming here. 4th and goal. Patriots inside the 1. Justin Smith, the stellar defensive lineman for San Francisco, went back to the locker room, so he is out. And now what do you do here? Does Brady sneak it in? He's so proficient at that. Does he roll out? They come up with an empty backfield. 4th and goal. Now Woodhead sets behind Brady.
Go 10. Out we go.
And Brady will try to dive for the touchdown. And does. Tom Brady over the top, as he's done so often, so effectively, and so efficiently throughout his career, and they have turned this into a 2-possession game.
I'll tell you, if Brady doesn't do what he did, which is extend the ball, he's probably not going to get it. Sopoaga got good penetration and actually hit him, but he couldn't stop him because he extended the ball out. Remember that in the playoff game where he did it, sort of got flipped on his head? one of the best short yardage backs in all of football, Tom Brady.
Kostowski for the extra point. Pretty close. The Patriots now with 2 long drives, 9 plays, 86 yards. And you can see what Tom does on 3rd or 4th and 1. Almost unstoppable.
Sopawaga got good penetration inside, but long arms of Tom Brady. You know, the one thing I'll say about Tom Brady is people don't appreciate how competitive that guy is. Remember last week when he made that run and he picked up the first down, he got up as a first down signal? Man hates to lose, and he knows that. You know how much it has to bug him, the fact that they've had 2 Super Bowls within reach. They could have, think of the legacy of these 2 guys, of Belichick and Brady, but for a couple of amazing completions on the part of Eli Manning in 2 Super Bowls.
He's also a perfectionist, and I think has become even more so as the years have gone by. Houston winning today, 12-2. Denver winning today at Baltimore. They've won 8 straight. Now you got New England at 10-3. Baltimore losing to the Broncos 9-5, and there are your division leaders at the moment in the AFC. New England has already clinched their division title, so the question now becomes, do they get a bye or do they have to play a first-round game here? To be determined as Michael James from a yard into the end zone. It's tackled up at the 18-yard line. And now we'll see what Kaepernick and company can do in terms of not only going down the field, but taking a little bit of time off the clock.
You know, it's always interesting. You have young quarterbacks. You're going up against one of the masters in Tom Brady. But in order to win in this league, you have to close the deal in the 4th quarter. You know, and for Kaepernick now, they've started to stop this running game a little bit. He's going to have to make some plays.
From the 18, the crowd now very much back into it. We're about ready to head for the parking lot. But now Kaepernick throws a little high, but it's caught at the 22. That's Crabtree, and we go to Michelle.
Well, Alfonso Denner, the cornerback for the New England Patriots, has not been in this half. He is questionable with a knee. He's been trying to work it out on the sideline, not going very well. Justin Smith is back out of the locker room. He went in for x-rays on his elbow, and linebacker Clark Higgins is out with a shoulder out. Lots going on.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And there is Smith trotting back toward the bench from the 22-yard line. It's 2nd down and 6. And the ball is handed off to Frank Gore, and Wilfork will not let him go anywhere. And that makes it 3rd down and 4.
Vince Wilfork has a way of just taking guys and driving them back. This time it's Anthony Davis, drives them back, throws a right hook at Gore, and sets up a huge 3rd down.
Crowd rising as 1. 3rd and 4.
Crabtree typically the guy on 3rd down if they throw.
He's at the top. Kaepernick throws, and the pass is incomplete, intended for James. There is no flag. Hightower covering on the play, and it's 4th down on another 3 and out.
I don't know what LaMichael James was doing on that one. He's going to swing out of the backfield here, and he hesitates right behind Hightower. He just stopped and gave Kaepernick absolutely nowhere to throw the football. He rightly anticipated that he was going to keep going, completely fooled the quarterback Kaepernick on that one.
Andy Lee to punt. That's Welker back at the 30-yard line. Lee, 2 punts tonight, averaging 53 per boot. Welker from the 23 to the 29, and Brady will go back to work. Got a ball game. Over 13 to play, a 14-point Niner lead. Plus 22 turnover differential for New England. One of the reasons they're 10-3, but -2 tonight. And it was Brady who got picked off by Rodgers, but then he made a touchdown-saving tackle. You had Vereen fumbling. You had Ridley fumbling. And then there was another pick of Brady on the deflection with Smith coming up with it. So New England turning the ball over 4 times in the game tonight. But they're back in it. Down by 14, and Brady to work from the 34-yard line. Throws low at the feet of Hernandez, who has been his favorite target tonight. He's caught 7 balls. Second down.
It hurts. Daniel Fells had a perfect pick play going. Hernandez came underneath, had plenty of room, and they just can't orchestrate an easy completion between 2 of the better players in the league.
Read it.
5 receivers out, and that is caught by Hernandez. Gain of 8 with the forward progress, tackled by Bowman. And that sets up a big, and at this point in the game, every third down is big. 3rd and 2.
Starting to get back to a little bit more of the man coverage. Aldon Smith trying to hit Hernandez as he comes off the ball now.
From the 42, Brady stepping up in the pocket, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Brandon Lloyd. You got Brown covering on the play, and they're going to punt, at least for the moment. And now they bring the punt unit back.
You know, Brady sometimes has that veto power. I don't know what he might have said there. Aldon Smith really been kind of quiet. Helps when you're going to grab the shoulder pads in there. There we go.
Probably said, get out of town, clown. 4th and 2. They'll go for it, or at least they'll bark out signals in an attempt to get San Francisco offside. And they do go for it. Fake the stretch play. Throw it back to the other side. Pick up the first down. Welker into San Francisco territory.
What a gutsy call. And they almost missed it. Brady almost overthrew this thing. Going to block and release. Nobody left out there, and Welker had to stretch a bit. Huge play.
15 yards on 4th and 2. Now they run a flea flicker, and Brady's going deep and incomplete. Intended for Welker. Crowd looking for a flag. Whitner covering on the play. No flag.
Delay a little bit coming off the ball. Try and fool him. Up comes Goldson. Had Whitner beat, but unable to make it. It's a good no call. I thought when I saw it, it was a good no call. Uncatchable ball.
Raining a little harder right now. 2nd down and 10. And the 49ers looking for a timeout. And got it.
San Francisco.
And Brady contending they didn't call it in time. Ockley is the ultimate judge and jury. Sort of.
Tom Brady didn't like it, but it was the right call. Several defenders trying to get timeout called prior to that snap, and I'm just glad Ockley's Mike couldn't pick up everything as Brady approached.
Thomas has seen the coverage that he loved and couldn't exploit it. 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Good protection. Going deep, and now you got a flag. That time, it's Brown and Lloyd getting tangled.
Terrell Brown's going to claim it's tangled feet, which would not be interference.
25.
But it was much more of the arm action that was getting it done. It's a great read by Brady. Here comes the safety down here, so he's got his shot down the field. And boy, oh boy, here we go, Al. This one looked like it was over about 7 or 8 minutes ago, and here we go.
38-yard penalty. Brown pleading his case to no avail. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
Struggled down here to run it last time, so they go empty.
5 receivers. And Brady will throw to the left side for the touchdown. Aaron Hernandez. Tom Brady keeping his touchdown streak alive. 46 consecutive games with a touchdown pass.
Remember, we were talking about Aldon Smith out there on the slot where they're going to bring him this time, and then you get the simple out off of it against man coverage by Dante Whitner. And Tom Brady has made this look too easy. You know how they started into that zone defense, kind of a little preventish feeling a little bit, got some momentum, and look out now.
Now they have all the momentum. A 28-point lead has become a 7-point lead. He had that 15-yard pass play on a 4th and 2 to keep it alive. It's 31-24 with a ton of time left. Aerial coverage being brought to you by Geico. It's the way downtown Boston looked on Friday night with clear skies. A little lower visibility tonight. Been raining all night. Temperature in the mid-30s, but a 31-3 game has become 31-24. Just like that. Over 12 to play at Gillette Stadium. Gostowski to send it down toward James. And instead it's fielded up at the 6-yard line by Delaney Walker. And one of the San Francisco tight ends has his knee touchdown at the 25-yard line. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Verizon. Share the holidays with the Share Everything plan. By Fidelity Investments, take control of your personal economy. By Mercedes-Benz, experience truly great engineering at your authorized dealer. And by Samsung Galaxy Note 2, the next big thing is here.
Back under center again, Al. They're going to stay with this, and they've had issues to hold on to the ball.
A lot of juggle snaps, couple of fumbles. Off the play fake. Kaepernick, flag is thrown. And on the run, they'll throw that one away. And we'll get the call from Hockley. Normally in the area of offensive holding.
Got a little,
but maybe not.
Illegal hands to the face, offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
It's the right guard, Alex Boone.
There we go. We're going to get a hands to the face by Boone. Wilfork's going to stick his hand out as well and get a little piece of Kaepernick's helmet, which stunned Kaepernick for a second. And then he staggered out of there. So for the Patriots, dream scenario. 1st and 20, backed up with a young quarterback. Vince Wilfork time.
On a rainy night. From the 15. Spin around, give it to Gore. Exploits that hole to the 27-yard line. Frank Gore turns a 1st and 20 into a 2nd and 9.
I'll tell you, Kaepernick probably had a little basketball in his background as well. Watch the ball handling here. A little fake it, blind side, no look kind of stuff.
Doc Rivers says, I like that. 2nd and 9 from the 26. Under pressure, spinning away. He's going to get sacked at the 13. Rob Ninkovich, who's made a lot of big plays this season, just turns in another.
Joe Staley tried to jump out on Ninkovich to get to him early, and Ninkovich made him pay. Watch Staley jump out here on him, and just too quick in space, the leading sacker for the New England Patriots, number 8, and that is the first sack, I believe, tonight of Kaepernick.
Indeed.
Aqib Talib had Crabtree all tied up, and that has been a major factor here in the second half of this game.
And now the 49ers have to take another timeout because the play clock was down to 1. So they have used 2 timeouts already in the second half. And it's 3rd and 22.
Unsettled is what we have now. You know, it looked like the Patriots were unsettled in the first half, and now it has been all New England Patriots here in the second half. And sometimes when that guy gets it turned on, you can't turn it off. And Kaepernick now has got to be careful. It's 3rd and a bunch. Your defense hasn't been holding up, but you cannot turn it over to Tom Brady on this end of the field. I'm going to guess they're going to run the football right here.
3rd down and 22. 10:48 remaining. Only 1 timeout coming down the stretch for San Francisco. And the ball at the 13-yard line.
Aqib Talib has been big in this game with Crabtree.
Kaepernick throwing underneath, and that's caught by Gore, and he gets tackled at the 21-yard line by Justin Francis, and the 49ers to punt again after another 3 and out.
This Justin Francis made a few plays, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Comes out just sort of reading the backfield and chased down Frank Gore. And Brady's going to get the ball back. How do you? There's 10 minutes to go in the game. He's going to get it back with a chance to tie.
Going at warp speed. Andy Lee to punt. And Wes Welker is back, and he's going to back up. He really booms it to the 16-yard line. A flag is down. And Welker has run out outside the 25.
Boy, Tom Brady's pointing the other way, and that would be huge because that was a monster punt that would have flipped the field position.
During the kick,
64 yards.
By the receiving team, number 23. A 10-yard penalty will be enforced from where the kick was caught. New England keeps the ball after enforcement. First down.
Big punt plus the penalty. But Brady goes back to work down by only 7. 9:56 left. That penalty moves him back to the 8-yard line, and Brady begins the drive with a little flip out that's incomplete. Hernandez couldn't hold on. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Some of the big comebacks in history. Regular season, San Francisco against New Orleans. It's Montana and Archie Manning. 28 points. And of course, there was that Buffalo-Houston game in the playoffs. 32 points. After the 92 season. 2nd down and 10. And that is caught for a first down by Brandon Lloyd. Lloyd now tonight closing in on a 100-yard night. 91 yards, 6 grabs for him.
Looks like back to man coverage now. Navarro Bowman out here on Danny Woodhead, flanked out wide down here. So Brady knows that. Last time it was Terrell Brown, so he knew it was zone. So he tries to take advantage of the man coverage here.
Gives him about 8 yards cushion on that side, but Brady's going to go the other way, and it's going to be caught by Lloyd. And Lloyd takes it down the sideline and gets inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Chris Culliver got beaten and catches up to make the tackle. It's 53 yards.
Man coverage here as well. So he saw it on both sides, took a shot. The safeties came down. They had only one deep safety. Brady saw it immediately and took big advantage.
At the 29-yard line.
Hey, it's Gold Dog. Out we go.
And Brady's going to do it himself. He sees the opening through the center of the line and takes it to the 24-yard line.
He does this all the time. Anytime you get the 2 tackles outside where the guards are, he just jumps up and takes it.
Gets 5. 2nd and 5. Off the fake to the outside. That's caught. Branch tackled by Brown. And another 1st and 10.
Can't believe he got that throw in there. And that's a defense designed to make sure that throw doesn't get there. And they still got it in there.
1st and 10 from the 11. Halfway through the quarter.
Whiskey. 53. Bullet. Hey, orange, okay? Orange. Go!
Who moved first? Jean-Francois came across the line.
Those defensive linemen hate it when the quarterback keeps them in their stance that long.
Encroachment, defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Francois quickly to Michelle.
Well, Justin Smith still not out there. After those x-rays, he had his left elbow taped, came in for one play, came back out, cut off the wrapping, and he's still on the sideline now.
All right, Michelle, that's why Francois was in there. Penalty was on him. 1st and 5 now from the 6.
Read it.
This pace is wearing down the 49ers. You can see it.
Brady stepping up. He's going to run it and slide to a stop.
I don't think so.
No, because you give yourself up the minute you start to slide, and they're going to mark it outside the goal line.
But a 1st down, I believe.
Yep. It is 1st and goal.
Where you start the slide is where they're going to call it down.
And here they go right off the bat, and they're going to run it into the end zone as Danny Woodhead takes it in. So Brady brings him right up to the line. No huddle before anybody can get set. Hands the ball off. Touchdown. And a point away from a tie game.
Everybody on the 49ers defense was playing quarterback sneak that time. Looked like they had 5 or 6 guys. And look at this madhouse in here. They're all playing quarterback sneak because Brady got him last time and Woodhead got to walk in. What a remarkable comeback.
And with still 6:43 to play against the defense that's 2nd in the league and allows the fewest points. Well, if you left us when it was 31-3, you got to be shaking your head right now.
Welcome back.
We are.
Incredible. You know, there's only a handful of guys at that point that I would have said this thing's not over. I just didn't think in a million years it could happen that fast.
Here's the Brady scramble for the 1st.
You know, and as the defensive line wears down and that no huddle has the impact, you see crazy things even out of the most disciplined defense. And even the guys that ordinarily, like Francois, who would be used to come in and said, you're pretty good, man. Pretty good stuff. The guys that would be used in relief on this defense that subs very little now can't even do that because of the injury to Justin Smith.
From 31-3 to 31-all. And the 49ers have to be just dazed right now.
And if the Patriots complete this comeback, the Seattle Seahawks next week play for 1st place.
Yes, they do. 49ers with a 28-point lead on the verge of clinching a playoff berth. Totally flipped around. Right now is Michael James runs it back, and he's going to give them good field position. Terrific, in fact, as Michael James, the rookie from Oregon, takes the ball into New England territory and is tackled to the 35.
If you ever needed a play, here it was. Michael James, one of the speediest young players in the game, not that big a guy, but watch him go down the boundary, got close to that boundary, but stayed in.
Ball to the 38-yard line. He stayed in. Made his debut last week after being inactive all season. 62-yard kickoff return. Now Kaepernick from the 38-yard line. He's going to go to the air, throw a little bit low, but it is caught by Crabtree. He's inside the 20, the 10, touchdown San Francisco. Broke away from Kyle Arrington. This game is off the charts right now.
Great job by Kaepernick. He saw the cover zero. They came with the blitz, recognized it, got the ball out quickly. No safety help anywhere to be found. Young quarterback with a decisive read of the coverage. Beautifully done.
Amazing. To give up 28 straight points, get the big run back, score on the next play, 38 yards. Crabtree with his second touchdown of the night. He's over 100 yards for the night. And Akers to try to make it 38-31. And the San Francisco 49ers are back on top with 6:25 to go in regulation.
Harbaugh can believe what he's saying. Here comes the blitz. Everybody's coming, which means that there is nobody to help on the back end. Everybody in man coverage, just one-on-one. So once the tackle is missed by Arrington, there is nobody left. We talked about Crabtree, his ability to break tackles. No contest here. You having fun?
I tell you, this is, it reminds me a little bit of that Miami Jet game on a Monday night back in 2000 that went to overtime and the Jets overcame an enormous deficit to win the game. Has that same feel. That was the night Miami gave up a big lead, took the lead again. The Jets tied them in regulation, won it in overtime.
Can you imagine what Tom Brady's feeling? He brings them all the way back, 28 points back, and in 2 plays, Michael James and then Crabtree takes it the rest of the way. You expect a little bit more out of your teammates after that kind of a comeback.
If nothing, that has to revitalize the San Francisco defense too, because to give up those 4 drives in succession.
But I will say this. They didn't get much of a rest either.
No.
And they were wearing down pretty fast, so they're going to have to, and I guarantee you Brady's not going to slow down the pace any here. Nuts.
69 points in the game. San Francisco back up by 7, trying to clinch a playoff spot. New England trying to hold on to that potential bye week as McCourty from the goal line gets taken down at the 25-yard line.
4 touchdowns this half, and they have happened very quickly. First of all, Danny Woodhead with the run. Tom Brady over the top. It'll flip out to Hernandez, and then when everybody was looking for the sneak, Danny Woodhead again. But that comeback erased in 2 plays by the San Francisco 49ers.
So the Patriots now, who have 441 total yards against the second-ranked defense, begin with a pass to Welker. Took Welker a long time before he caught a ball tonight. It was the second half, and West with a good half here. 4 catches for 43 yards, a first down.
You want to play man coverage, they're going to do these little rub routes. The tight end goes up the field. Welker comes right off his back edge.
At the 38. And it's Welker again to the 50-yard line. It's like a street game right now.
Yeah, and there is an exhaustion on the part of the pass rushers. I mean, you can just see it. And Aldon Smith has to find a way to get home now. I mean, he is the man. He is the guy, the potential defensive MVP. He's got to get going.
Brady down the sideline and just off the fingertips of Lloyd, who's been working both sidelines tonight beautifully. 2nd and 10.
Brady took a big shot on the tail end of that one. I think it was Brooks on the other side looping back underneath.
3, 2, 1.
And it come back around this way. And just as Tom Brady released it, so getting a little pressure inside now.
2nd down and 10. 5:30 to go. Brady losing his helmet and then getting the sack is McDonald. Ray McDonald had his helmet come off and still was able to come in and put Brady on the ground.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense number 76. The penalty is declined. Brings up 3rd down.
And that's Vollmer.
It's called the old pick tough here. Go out and then in. Jam into that tackle on the outside just as the guard releases you. Go straight to the quarterback. Coverage was good and a bare-headed sack.
So that makes it 3rd down and 15 from the 45-yard line.
Roger.
Four-man rush, and down he goes, and that is Ricky Francois who gets the sack. So he's in the game because Justin Smith is hurt, and he comes up with a big sack here.
Go figure. Nate Solder's been doing the job all night long, and now a defensive tackle moves to the outside, Ricky John Francois, and beats him to the quarterback.
7-yard sack, 4th and 22. They have to punt. Remember, New England has all of its timeouts. 4th and 22 now, Mesco with a short kick. That's bobbled and covered up at the 28 by Ted Ginn Jr. Sooner or later, you'd think they'd learn. So next Sunday night, the 49ers again, as they head to Seattle. It's a flex game for us. San Francisco against Seattle. Football night starts things at 7 Eastern time. It's always a tremendous scene in Seattle against San Francisco, 9-3-1. Seattle red hot, 9-5, going up a 50 spot in each of the last 2 weeks. 58 last week against Arizona, and 50 today against Buffalo. And it's Kaepernick, it's Russell Wilson. It's Sunday Night Football from the Great Northwest next week.
And it will be the 4-minute offense now. This is what, going back to Jim Harbaugh's day and his conversations with Bo Schembechler about you are going to have a fullback, you are going to have a tight end, you are going to have them both on the field at the same time. This is what that is all about. Now is when you're supposed to win the game on the offensive side with power football.
Gore and Bruce Miller, the fullback, in the backfield from the 28. Give it to Gore. Around the right side he goes to the 30-yard line. Snapped by Spikes.
Brandon Spikes ran all the way across the formation to make that play. So much written about his inability to run. The 5-flat 40-yard dash. He said he thinks about that every day. They told him it would not be a factor on draft day. It was, and it is the chip on his shoulder that drives him daily.
2nd down and 8. Patriots holding on to their timeouts. Have all 3 plus the 2-minute warning. LaMichael James, after Gore had come off after the last play, takes the ball to the 34-yard line. That's Brandon Spikes again making the tackle.
What a great play by Brandon Spikes. Yapati pulled around and led right up on him. He was able to fend off the block and make the tackle. There is a lot of space there, and Spikes just made a tremendous play.
3rd down and 4. Big stop here for New England because they can save their timeouts. If the 49ers convert, New England's going to have to start using their timeouts.
See if Kaepernick runs again. Big situations, that's when you look for it.
Just do get the play off. James can only get to the 35-yard line. So now it's 4th down. Mayo and Nikovic make the tackle. And the Patriots are going to use a timeout. So when Brady goes back to work, they've got 2 plus the 2-minute warning, which might as well be a month. Right?
It's unbelievable. Sunday night football games are a lot of fun. Tom Brady, can't ask for it to get better than this. Brady with the ball in his hands, down 7, at home, crowd going crazy against the best defense in football that has had a tough time here in the second half.
That's why we wait all day for Sunday night, right?
You got that right.
We do.
Something else. That guy's had a good game tonight. Carlos Rogers working against Welker. Big part of it. They've flipped back to a little bit more man coverage, and that's when he's been so strong.
Andy Lee setting up for his 5th punt. And Wes Welker back at his own 20-yard line. Another booming kick to the 6. Welker trying to find the hole. Flag down to the 18-yard line on the run back with 2:56 on the clock.
Kick, holding by the receiving team, number 46. A 10-yard penalty will be enforced from where the punt was caught. New England keeps the ball after enforcement. First down.
So that'll back Brady up.
You know, and that's just one of those psychological things as much as anything. You know, you feel like, all right, we're around the 20. Here we go. Let's get it going. And then all of a sudden you're not. You're back inside the 5-yard line. But nobody has done better than this football team this year. 29% on drives of 80 yards or more, they have scored touchdowns. That is number 1 in the NFL. This team can do this.
Penalty was on James Devlin. They start from the 3. And Brady will go right to the air and avoids the sack, which would have been a safety, and the pass is incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Now they're going to take away the primaries here. Now you can look for San Francisco to maybe double Wes Welker, double Hernandez. That time Hernandez had a lot of attention around him. They have to hold up here, though. Remember, a hold in the end zone would be a safety and essentially game over here. Intentional grounding would be essentially game over.
300-yard pass for Brady. Brady slings it to the outside. That's going to be caught up at the 10-yard line. Brandon Lloyd makes the catch. Tackled by Culliver. And it's 3rd down and 3. Clock ticking. 3rd, make it a long 2 from the 12. Brady hanging in the pocket. Throws, juggled, and incomplete. Danny Woodhead could not hold on. So now you've got 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Do you go for it on 4th and 2 from deep in your own territory?
You know, you have a choice here. You can do either. Woodhead outside. We talked about the coverage ability all over the field. Navarro Bowman, they could punt it, but why with Tom Brady would you do that?
So from the 12, 4th and 2, 5 receivers. Brady trying to find somebody open and almost had it picked off. Intended for Woodhead, incomplete, and he turns the ball over deep in Patriot territory.
I don't know why they did that. All they had to do was have Woodhead go about 3 yards down the field. Bowman was way off of him, about 10 yards off, and instead Woodhead went down about 10 yards and essentially got to Bowman. He could have literally just raised up and thrown the ball to him, and I think he would have picked up the 1st down.
And now the 49ers, with the Patriots able to stop the clock twice, plus the 2-minute warning, but already in field goal range, obviously, and a converted field goal will turn it into a 2-possession game. So hanging by a thread right now. Kaepernick from the 13-yard line. Playing it safe. James is able to at least go down to keep the clock running. And New England takes a timeout, so they're down to 1 plus the 2-minute stoppage.
You know, so many times we see Tom Brady just raise up and throw this ball. You can't really see it, but that's about 7 or 8 yards of distance there. and he went down the field to about 8 yards of range. See this? All he's got to do is get to right there and stop and turn around and complete the ball. They gave him space to make the play, and he really made it easier on Bowman than they had to. How many times do you see it, though? A team make that kind of amazing comeback, and all the energy expended to try and get back to where it's even, and then the other team, bang, bang, 2 plays down the field. Michael James, that kick return, really the game changer.
That was gigantic. Here's Gore. And they'll stop him at the 9-yard line, and now New England will spend its final timeout. Quarterback comparison tonight. Mentioned that Brady has already thrown for 300 yards in the half alone. 55 slings for 386. Kaepernick with 4 touchdown passes and the 1 pick.
How about that? And you know, Al, they really didn't even use him outside. You know, he didn't really. In the first couple of games, he was tremendous being outside, 3 touchdowns, I think no interceptions. But since then, they've really, you can tell they want him to develop as a pocket passer, and he has the ability with that arm strength of his.
Brandon Spikes needs some assistance in going back to the sideline, so he will come off the field before this 3rd down and 7. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning if the 49ers don't wind up in the end zone.
Well, you make a stop here, you force them to make a field goal, or you're going to get it back. So last chance defensively here for the Patriots.
Running back is James. They give it to the Oregon rookie. And he wants to make sure he stays in bounds. And he is tackled at the 10-yard line. So Akers will come in to try to make it a 2-possession lead on the other side of the break. 38-31, 49ers. Wendy's post-game report after the game. Michelle on the field. Bob Toney and Mike Florio break it down, look at league news, and Chris and I will take a look ahead to next week in Seattle. Here is Akers, who's had 5 field goal attempts blocked in the last 2 years.
Nate Solder right in there, an offensive lineman, but a big one, going to try and get his hands up.
28-yard attempt. Andy Lee to hold it. And Akers bangs it through. So with 1:56 remaining and no timeouts for New England, San Francisco up on top by 10.
Got a hand in the vicinity of this kick. Didn't quite get it there. Here's Solder. Just couldn't quite get it. It's an amazing comeback, but let's give credit to the 49ers. They hung on and really won it with their special teams. You know, the kick return was the difference in the game. No question about it.
That was LaMichael James after 28 consecutive points. And Harbaugh, who already had a heart procedure earlier this year and is taking a lot of baby aspirin, able to breathe a sigh of relief. Looking at some of the action tonight, Kaepernick with 4 touchdown passes in his 5th start. Brady, nothing in the first half, but then on fire in the second half, leading him to 28 straight points to tie the game, but that didn't last very long because Crabtree, after the James run back, took the next play, the pass from Kaepernick in for a touchdown, and the 49ers trying to head back home with a mark of 10-3-1.
Tell you, Colin Kaepernick made plays with his brain tonight that really impressed me. Looking off defensive backs, the ability to understand on that last play to Crabtree that it was cover 0. He was going to have one-on-one coverage, get it to his catch-and-run guy, Crabtree on the outside. He's done very intelligent things from the quarterback position. Only one mistake that I can remember.
Very cool customer is Kaepernick, as Matthew Slater backs up to take it and takes a knee in the end zone.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen. Really, at this point, you just have to get in field goal range, try and kick a field goal, try the onside kick. Who knows what can happen from here?
Right, the minute they got into field goal range, you'd kick it. Doesn't matter whether you do it 7-3 or 3-7. Down by 2. 2 scores from the 20.
Patriots have already run 82 plays tonight. That is a big, big number, and still down 10.
463 yards of offense for them. And Brady begins by slinging it to the outside, and that is caught. Lloyd working that sideline like a magician tonight. First down.
Yeah, he does a great job with his feet. Let's make sure they get down. Yeah, and he didn't drop his heel on the line, which is what made the play. Smart player.
Gain of 12. It took only 5 seconds. And Brady throws, and that's caught by Hernandez, but he's tackled well in bounds by Willis to keep the clock running. 10 catches tonight for Hernandez. Along the way, Welker's caught 5 passes tonight and now has 100 for the season. 2nd and 3. Brady incomplete with Willis covering Hernandez there, making it 3rd down and 3. Aldon Smith just came off the field. Hurt his arm, so tries to wring that out and walks around on the sideline.
Smith looked like hurt himself hitting Tom Brady.
It was Brady's 59th pass of the game, and it's short. The most he's ever thrown in a game, and that'll make it 4th down and 3. Brady is 33 of 59 for 405 tonight.
Wes Welker tonight, 100 catches on the season already. It's his 5th time doing that, which is a new NFL record.
So it's now or never for New England to try to keep it alive, and they do keep it alive as Branch makes the catch. Clock keeps running. The ball is at the 46. First down, 1:13 and ticking down.
Still time. Remember, you're only talking about a Hail Mary at the end of this if you recover an onside kick, so probably need another 20, 25 yards at this point.
I'd believe anything at this point. Smith is back in the game. Justin Smith has not returned. We saw him back in for one play after he had to go back to the locker room. So he's been out for almost the entire second half. Brady on 2nd and 10 to the outside. Woodhead makes the catch, and he's able to get out of bounds in San Francisco territory at the 47-yard line. So now 3rd down and 4 from the 47.
3 down.
3-man rush. 8 back. Brady deep over the middle, and that's incomplete. So once again down to their last gasp on 4th and 4. You realize how long that trip to San Francisco would have been tonight had they blown this game?
How sweet it's going to be if they hold it, though. And this is a franchise sort of changing win. You come in here and get one.
And on 4th and 4, Brady trying to keep the game alive, and it's Brandon Lloyd making the catch. So now they're in field goal range. The ball is at the 24-yard line. Brady's going to get up and spike it, and you've got 43 seconds. Now, do you want to send the field goal unit in right now? And they do. So Gostowski will try to make it a 1-possession deficit, and if he kicks it, the next thing you'll see is an onside kick, and who knows?
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. You're just going to have to make this one. He missed one big one that could have won a game for him earlier this year from about this range.
41-yard attempt for Gostowski. Lesko puts it down.
Here we go.
And it is a 7-point game at 41-34. Don't touch that dial. And if you're with us to this point, you won't be touching the dial.
There'll be whatever it is that they've kept in the closet for this moment will be coming out now. And remember, the special teams rules have changed a little bit now. It used to be you could overload one side. Now you've got to have at least 4 players on one side of the kicker, and you can have 7 on the other. And a lot of times the receiving team will answer with a wall of blockers and one guy behind that wall to make the catch.
Brad Seeley at one point, a member of Bill Belichick's staff, longtime special teams maven. Telling his guys, make sure you catch the ball.
Yeah.
Cover it up.
San Francisco with a timeout remaining, right? So they could take a look at this formation, and if uncomfortable, call their timeout then.
Randy Moss is out there. That's when you put the hands team out. The guys who can handle the football. Ball that'll be fielded by Walker, and that will write a finish to it. Put into the hands of one of their tight ends, and they can now run out the clock and get ready for that long but happy flight back to the Bay Area.
They didn't get the hop. This one is supposed to bounce high right about here, and it just didn't. It was one of those right to the shortstop, routine double play kind of balls that you dream about if you're Delaney Walker in that situation.
So this will be the final play of the game as the 49ers come up in that victory formation. And a little kneel down will end it. And the Niners go to 10-3-1. They clinch a playoff spot. New England sees a 7-game winning streak snapped. And it's a big day for the Houston Texans because they win and New England loses, putting Houston in prime position for that #1 seed again after that looked to be in some jeopardy after the events of last Monday night.
Jim Harbaugh took his chance, put Colin Kaepernick in the game, and he delivered on the biggest stage. It was a fantastic performance for a young player to come in here and beat Tom Brady. No matter how you want to slice it,
right.
He beat Tom Brady here in a game they had to have.
A wild one, 41-34. The 49ers win it in Foxborough. The Wendy's post-game report coming up on the other side of the break.
Welcome to the Wendy's post-game report. Here now, Bob Costas.
The Patriots came from 28 down in the second half to tie it, but eventually they succumb 41-34. Here are your players of the game. Colin Kaepernick, a very tidy 14 of 25 for 216, 4 touchdowns. Michael Crabtree caught 7, half of the total of completions for Colin Kaepernick tonight, 107 yards and 2 TDs. The safety Dante Whitner, who had 7 tackles and forced a fumble, joins them down on the field with Michelle.
Well, Colin, you guys had a 28-point lead, and then the Patriots come back with 28 unanswered points. What's going through your mind at that point?
We just have to put points on the board. I mean, Tom Brady's a great quarterback. They have a great offense. We knew they had the ability to do that. We just wanted to keep scoring.
And then LaMichael James comes out, gets you that great return so you guys could score immediately. What happened there?
LaMichael had a great return. The next play, Crab came out, beat his guy one-on-one, and took it to the end zone.
How did you keep your composure under those circumstances?
I mean, this is something that we practice. You have to be ready to take the lead at the end of the game. You have to be ready for teams to come back. We're just out here trying to make plays.
You scored through 4 touchdown passes. I mean, this game had so many ups and downs and twists and turns. Hostile environment, rain. What does it mean to you to be the quarterback of this team and have that kind of a performance?
It's just a great opportunity to be out here with these players, my teammates. I mean, I have great players around me who have been doing an amazing job. So,
congratulations, Colin.
Thank you.
Let's turn to Michael Crabtree, who had that touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown. What happened on the play?
I just told Cap to throw the ball up, man. Let me make a play. He had faith in me, and we made it happen.
He had faith in you, and it seems like this team has faith in him. What impresses you most about this young kid?
He got all the tools that you need. He really just go out there and play ball. That's our attitude, and that's what we do. I just got to give big ups to the defense for stopping Tom Brady, man. That's one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks, and we made it happen.
Congratulations on the win. Let's turn to Dante Whitner. And you gave up just 3 points in the first half, and then they came out and scored 28 straight. What happened?
They made some adjustments at halftime. You expect a good team like that and a great quarterback like that to make some adjustments. We knew it wasn't going to be an easy game, even going into halftime up. You know, we came out and we played today.
The Patriots had won 21 straight games in the second half of the season. What kind of accomplishment is it to come in here and break up that streak?
It's a big accomplishment. We like playing national televised games. We like playing big teams. And we knew that nobody really gave us a chance. And hopefully we earn some respect tonight.
Well, you get another nationally televised game next week at Seattle. What does this do to springboard you into that one?
Well, it's going to be big. You know, Seattle has a really, really good football team. They're playing well, scoring a lot of points. Marshawn Lynch is running the ball like one of the best running backs in the National Football League. We're going to have our work cut out for us, but if we can come in here and win in these elements, we can go anywhere and win. That's how we feel.
Dante, congratulations.
Thank you.
Bob?